The views and opinions expressed during this program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not reflect the views of Explorewithsu. As such, this channel cannot be held liable for any legal actions arising from the content of this program.
Hello my besties, welcome to this channel. It's your girl Susu here. If you are not subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe, support this channel, like this video, comment and share. Thank you.
Strange country, I tell you. People don't know how strange, unusual Nigeria is. Look at the cost of living index by city in the world. And now let's find Nigeria in this list. Sure, I just type Nigeria at the top. It's only one city appeared in Nigeria. In terms of the top ones. Look at how expensive, like Switzerland, Bermuda, Switzerland, so many states, United States, so many states in the United States, expensive. But look at the first state in Nigeria. And it's only one that appeared. Lagos. Almost at the bottom. And then it means, what that means is that the rest of the states are cheaper that they cannot even show up on this list. That's Nigeria. If you go by nation, let's go by nation. The cost of living in there by country. So you will see where Nigeria ranks. Look at Switzerland and Bermuda at the top again. They are the leading nations. Look at cost of living in Nigeria. Almost the bottom of the table itself. Let me zoom in so people can see. So it doesn't look like I'm doing a funny thing here. So that is Nigeria there at the bottom again. And what does that tell you? That's why sometimes I look at these Oyemas, the Dangotes. I look at them and say, these people are trying in a hostile environment to do business, because where cost of living is so cheap and you have to buy your equipment from practically from the same market. You know, we don't make machineries. You have to buy like all those countries where people pay for items more and do business in Nigeria and survive. It's quite a remarkable feat to be able to do that and survive in Nigeria. Hence, we should see these people for what they truly are. They are the only ones flying the Nigerian flag right now. And if you want to expand into other areas, expand. If you want to go and build a nuclear power plant, go ahead. If you want to go and start shipbuilding, start shipbuilding. There are so many monopolies you can start. If you are so worried about its own monopoly, start your own. Nigeria has so much space to expand into. And one thing you can say about this government, I don't know, other than their economic policy that is completely rubbish for business, but I think consciously they want to encourage business. If you have a business idea, I don't think they want to discourage you, even if the environment they've created for business is very bad. But in their mind, they believe they are very friendly to business, and maybe that is true too. Who else? Who wants to continue?
Forefathers, let me come in, please.
Please, let's respect.
Yeah, let me come in,
can you relax yourself?
You came
relax yourself. Relax.
You kicked me out.
My younger brother.
I didn't kick you out. Why would I kick you out? I
think I was driving then.
Oh yeah, you were driving. That's why.
Yeah.
Can you relax?
Janaba, please go ahead. Janaba, please go ahead.
Kene, I want you not to be like your senior brother Passat. Please, I know you are my boy, and I know we have our differences. We'll work it out. Maybe in heaven, if there is heaven. But then, don't come from the back and jump to the front. Respect the rule of law. That's what damaged Nigeria. Thank you.
Is that all? Okay.
Now, you see, the sentiment on business. I've said there's anything motto. If Nigeria really want to make Nigeria move forward and not playing politics with themselves and Nigerian citizens, they really want to empower themselves, not only in the East, but the federal government should ask all Nigerian politicians to have it as official car. Because whether they assemble it in Nigeria, it's also a good thing. If you want to claim, oh, it's assembled in Nigeria, it's not a full manufacturer in Nigeria, but it's assembled in Nigeria. Let's give it to it. The fact is that the Dangote, when you hear people hear it in their ear, they don't look at the employment. I was against Dangote when he sold the flour aspect of Dangote to South African company, and many people lost their pension because the way the people took over. But thank God, the people went bankrupt. He bought it back from them. But the point I'm trying to say is that let us be honest. In America here, the bigger company never want the smaller company to exist. They're always going to come up with something to deprive them. For instance, let's talk about motor vehicle, for instance. They will come up with something that make you go out of your way. For instance, let's say you buy a salvage car today. Before, state varies. So they will say, oh, now they are asking for receipt. Some states you cannot even drive it. You have to tow it for inspection, even for physical inspection. For you to be able to drive the car, somebody have to inspect it physically before you even inspect it. Some state you have to do the inspection before you do that. Some place you have to submit your reviewed paper and all of that. Before they were not asking for receipt. Some state they now ask for receipt. What am I trying to say? Everybody go after their own interest. It's left for the government to regulate and for the fairness of the people to say, you know what, this, if only these people have this power in their hand, it's going to rob ordinary people, and we will lack job creation. So if Dangote is having a steel company and the government are regulating it and take the fair share, there's nothing wrong with it. And if you think it's not a good thing, in as much as you think it's open society, it's open for you to register a company. You may find it difficult in one way or the other, but you are not stopped by anybody. So go ahead. Many people are into import to Nigeria. They find it difficult in the way they are treated, but it still happen here. When they say small business in America, it can still be billions of dollars business, but they're always going to say, oh, it's a small business. For instance, Donald Trump benefited when World Trade Center was crushed because he claimed a small business, even though end of the day, he did not lose nothing. So this is what people do. But when the word Fulani man coming, he raises people's anger and bitterness. Dangote do not only
No,
employ.
Oh, Jonaba, why are you going to
2
Fulani
minutes.
man
I have
again?
Please,
before
I have to
connecting.
finish
Jonaba,
my submission.
Let me
Be
say something,
patient,
then I'm
be
gone. 1
patient,
minute.
be patient.
1
Fafara,
No,
minute.
just
be
I'm
a minute.
trying.
I
patient.
have my elders here.
That is
Let's
1
allow
minute.
people
Minute.
to
Oh.
finish now.
That is,
It's
you
not
see,
so
this is
hard. We are
what they
not
do for
running.
distraction. They are
No.
doing it for
Let's allow
distraction.
people
There's
to finish.
nothing
I
more.
don't have
That
signal. I want to
if
be
you don't
done in
have
1
time, don't
minute.
even come here. You are not going to do us any good anyway. If you don't have
Please.
time, you are over 70, you're not going to
Jonaba,
do us
please
any
carry
good.
on. Sorry about that.
Okay,
Jonaba, carry
now
on.
that is what their alarm is tribalism. They do not look at anything. Okay, if you want to criticize them, whether it's Tunubu or anybody, come with a constructive criticism and say, oh, this monopoly is not good for this and this
You
and
can
that.
do all that,
But
but I'm riding on the
but
Maybach, right?
up front, what they hear
You
is
can
Asa
insult me if you
Fulani
want,
is a rich
right?
man, and that is it. So please meet this man for me. You send your brother to hell, never come back. You are coming to me. Stay where you are. So that is the problem we have. We have to have open-minded to make sure that we, the people of Nigeria, if we want to criticize the government for what they are not doing right, it should not be tribal issue, whether to Dangote or to whatever the company in the east, a motor company, and
It's 15
what do you
minutes
call
now.
it? Remind me, please. I just who is that?
It's,
So that is
it's
it, and I'm
past
going to
15
exit for
minutes,
now.
It's
Jonaba.
And
not
if I
15
have
minutes now. It's not.
okay,
Come on,
no,
let him talk.
relax. I'm going to exit if you don't mind these people. These are the people that make this platform interesting. So I'm going to exit for now. I'm going to be listening. If Ferrari come, I will come in because Ferrari have choose to be on my case, and I will be on your case. I'll warn you out. I promise you.
It's too
So
late. You've exhausted your time.
Papa, a minute, please.
Is it
Yeah,
Ken,
it's
can
me
you
now.
let me go first, please, Ken?
is that
Yes. Alaba go. Alaba go first.
Both of you, hold on.
By the way, everybody, you should come to tomorrow's show.
Is Dexter, were you here first? Who was here first? I know Weebon was here when
Let me speak.
It's me now.
Hold on now.
You pushed me out before.
Dexter, why are you quiet? Were you here first? Because I feel like you came in first.
Let him go. Let him go ahead first. Let him go
That's
ahead.
what you should say.
No, I should go ahead. You started
who should go first, Kene or Ferrari?
Okay, let Alaba come.
Okay.
Alaba go.
Everybody come
I
to
will go after
tomorrow's
Alaba.
show except that man. Anyway, there's been a lot of misinformation on this platform about monopoly and capitalism.
Thank you.
We have to set it straight. That's the only reason I came on, because I don't like coming on when John Abba is on, because I want him banned. Anyway, moving on. Let me leave John Abba for now, because he's going to upset me. Now I'm losing my thought because he keeps coming on. Anyway, monopoly in America that practice capitalism that the rest of us wants to copy. By law, they don't tolerate monopoly. And there's a reason for that. Because there's nothing democratic about monopoly. There's nothing. Be you who set up your own business, like Microsoft, like Apple, like all the big names. The American system will make sure by law that company is broken down into smaller units so that the people can have access, because they know that monopoly is anti-capitalism and it's anti-democracy. Because whoever controls monopoly can influence their democracy. And that's the danger. They know that. These people are thinkers. They just don't set up a system and just let it loose. Other countries that allow one company to control are usually communist states, and that's a state-run company. You have to know the difference. One man importing everything in your country, it's related to the corruption in your country and the hardship your country is going through. If you don't get that, then you don't know economics. There's no correlation between monopoly and democracy. There's none. They break it down. So if the government wants to help companies, we have innocent motors there. They should help innocent motors, not be giving the taxpayers money to Dangote to run something they have failed to run. This is not a tribal issue or anti. This is a fact. If you love that country, anything Dangote, you want to go against it. If he doesn't put his business on the trade market for it to go public and destroy the monopoly, it shouldn't exist, because you're using state fund for one individual. Country don't work like, and that individual will be so powerful.
No,
that individual can topple your government.
Down again.
That individual can talk. So there's so much misinformation. Dangote is a hero. Dangote is this. Dangote is that. I don't like misinformation on medium like this, because there are young Nigerians listening, except when people like John is talking, and that one confuses young Nigerians. But all of you are educated people, and you help young Nigerians to educate them.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Yes. Alaba, can I come in?
Yeah.
Let me ask Ferrari for clarification. Can you
okay.
Yeah.
What forefather is the topic he raises? Say that Dangote want to enter into steel manufacturing. So if Dangote should start Dangote steel manufacturing industry, if you want to establish it, if government is not giving him money to do it,
how do you know? They gave him money for the oil. You don't know that. Would they come out and tell you that this corrupt government? Would they come out and tell? Did they tell you when they gave him money for the refinery? Did they tell you? I'm asking you that question. Did they come and ask you?
You're not even answer the question that I'm asking you. Asking me again.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that, assuming that we're not talking about what we are not sure of yet, but we just heard that he wants to start steel industry. Is it wrong for government to stop him from establishing steel industry just because they feel that it's going to be a monopoly? Or is it the duty of the government to put policies in place to make sure that the steel company he's starting is not going to be a monopoly?
Did you see all of them gather when they wanted to open Dangote refinery, all the shareholders of Nigeria? Did you see all of them gather when they opened Dangote refinery? Those are the people that own your country. And those are the people that won't let your country have equity. You understand? The government's role is to provide law and order for all companies, for everybody to submit bid. You understand? Not to stop him. They can't stop him. But they would examine his bid, compare it to others, compare it to other companies, see which one is more likely. That's the government role. Government role is regulatory. But because we have a failed government and we have gullible followership, that they sell anything to us, we jump at it and we grab it. We are abdicating our role as citizens.
Is the government selling the Ajokute steel industry to him?
I think it's my turn now, please.
I don't know if they're selling it to him, but that idea alone, that the guy again wants to go into steel, should make
everybody submitting bids.
You make me scared.
See, Alaba, if Jabin, some other person was doing it, nobody is looking to do it. He is doing it. If he says he wants to build a nuclear power plant now, you're going to complain. That why is he doing it? Because it's him again. There is a lot of scope for businesses to expand into Nigeria.
Do you have data
Let them
no
expand.
other person is doing it? You see,
no other person is doing it.
Do you have data?
We are not a major steel manufacturer.
Do you have data?
Even if others are doing it, why
let me come in, please.
And the truth, okay, let me show some. No, hold on. Let me just show him some monopolies around the world. Look at the monopolies around the world. They have monopolies everywhere. Look at the UK. Payment systems are a form of monopoly.
And how is the UK faring economically?
They are faring better than the UK, Nigeria. 1.4 trillion a year they spend on their economy. 1.4 trillion.
How much are they owing in debt?
They are not.
Their unemployment rate?
They still get more money than you. You want to compare yourself to them?
Because they steal from other countries. They steal from third world countries, right?
UK has only one
including
water
Nigeria.
company. Hold on. UK has only one water company. One.
Yeah, and they steal from other countries.
And they are releasing poo-poo water into the ocean. And yet they still have the rights to it.
Okay,
so let
me come in, please.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Alaba, thank you very much. I think you put it better than I should have, right? The thing is, I have heard somebody talking about the capitalist system in government. I don't know in Nigeria. I don't know where that person learned or who taught the person that Nigeria run a capitalist government. Nigeria system. Nigeria doesn't. Nigeria run a confused system. You will not call it capitalist. You will not call it monopolistic. You will not call it mixed. It's a confused system of governance that Nigeria run. For those that don't know the history a little bit, let me help us here. It started off with 1999 when we had Nitel. Nitel that was owned by the federal government, right? Nitel was sold by Atiku. Who bought Nitel? Who did they sell Nitel to? And what was the modalities? How did they even bid? Because this is a public company, so investors should bid. Before they, whomever that qualifies should buy it. So how did they go about the bidding and all that? How did they auction Nitel? Nitel was sold among them. The politicians bought it. Now we had cement, right? When Ibeto was producing cement, we have the Calago cement, and then Calago was intentionally crushed down, and Ibeto's own was crushed down, and Dangote was given a public fund to build his cement factory, the way he built it now. Public money, federal government money. Then Dangote, we have Nigerian refinery. The Nigerian refineries were intentionally crushed down so that they will invest in Dangote's refinery, because they are a bunch of lazy idiots that don't know how to make money. The only easy money they make is embezzlement of public fund. And for them, because they know one day they're going to retire, so they need where they will invest their money. And Dangote happens to be their hero. So Dangote is not my hero, please. Dangote is their hero. He's among the criminal gang in Nigeria that call themselves leaders. So they are using him as their boy now, errand boy, invest our money in Dangote's refinery. Now, since they invested that money in Dangote's refinery, tell me 1 liter of petrol that has been gotten from Dangote refinery. Nothing. Nothing till today. And now they're about to invest. You and I know that they've crushed Ajekuta steel industry. So they crushed Ajekuta in the steel industry because they have their boy. They have Dangote that they now want to invest our money, federal government money, into Dangote's so-called refinery steel industry. Yeah, and you are now referring to Dangote as a hero. Who's hero? Nigeria. Let's understand this. Nigeria is more of monopolistic system than even the confused system that I'm talking about right now, because they are doing it with deliberate action. Pardon me? Yeah, so they are doing it. If they were just confused, I might be lenient on them, but they are intentional with what they are doing, trying to run a monopolistic system by using Dangote to push that idea. So investing public fund into Dangote's refinery, investing the public fund into Dangote's cement, sugar, and now steel industry is a show of criminality. Just as Alaba said, the day they commissioned the refinery, did you not see all of them there? They are the investors. No foreign investors. They are the investors in that company. And that is what they want to do with the steel industry. They are cleaners. If they want to run a capitalist system, they should have a free system. They should have a free market whereby anybody that wants to start up a business or start up a company must go through the requirement. Once you get the requirement, you'll be given a license to operate whatever you want to operate. In some cases, you may not even have all the requirement, but at least if you have some important requirement, the government will support you by giving you the license to start up, but maybe give you some years to get other requirements completed. So Nigeria is not running a system, a free system, a free market system, is not running a capitalist system, but Nigeria is running a monopolistic system. And that is not doing well. It's not doing well in our economy. They are looking for a way to build the economy or to revamp the economy that they are intentionally killing. They are killing the economy and then running back to tell us that they want to revamp. What are you revamping? You are killing it. Have a free system, then the economy will blossom. But you said no. All you're doing is to kill the economy. And you and I are here talking about, you see Nigeria, like somebody said, you can only be a Nigerian. I'm not. Sorry. Thank you.
You see, the truth is that you have a point that they are helping kill businesses. Dangote Sugar lost money because of the economic policy. MTN lost money. They are killing Nigerian businesses. But let me just respond to Fumi O here, that I'm lying as usual about this UK having a monopoly in water. I think I made one error in my suggestion that the UK has only one water company. There are multiple, but they are regional. So let me explain what I was trying to say, so as he gets it before he accuse me of lying constantly. So it says the water industry in England and Wales was privatized in 1989. Most water and sewage companies are regional monopolies with dedicated pipe networks and water supply. This means that household customers cannot choose and switch their suppliers, and competition is limited. So this is what they call it, natural monopolies. So it's a monopoly, but the fact that I got wrong was the fact that it's only one company. It's not only one company, but it's regional. And what it depends on your region. If you have one company, you are stuck with it. You can't change to any other one. So that was the point. I just thought I should correct that. Like to keep things factual here, okay? It's not offensive to accuse me of lying.
I missed something. I think you shared something about Nigeria running the list. I think you shared something about what they call it, the standard of living, right? Standard of living. Right?
Cost of living.
Yeah, that the cost of living in Nigeria's cost of living is so low. But you've also forgotten that in that same Nigeria, that we have we don't have a system to determine what exactly or what is the cost of living of Nigerians. For example, you are earning, your income, your wage is $30, 30,000 naira or 35,000, right? Is your wage at the end of the day. At the end of the month, 30 days, what you are paid is 35,000 naira. Out of that 35,000 naira, NEPA, the so-called NEPA electricity company that did not give you light up to 7 times in a month, will come with a bill of 21,000. Now,
Yes.
mind you that Nigeria, the system does not provide water to the populace. You have to source for your own water, right? Maybe you spent 5,000 on water for the month. Now 26,000 is gone. So how much are you left with to feed your family and take care of other things?
Make a statement. So
and you're saying that our cost of living is low? And then when you don't pay, when you don't have money to pay for the electricity, when you don't have money to pay for the electricity, they will chop off your cable. The cable they never bought. You were the one that bought the pole. You were the one that bought the cable and connect light in your house. But if you don't have money to pay for the electricity at the end of the month, they will cut the cable and take it as if it's theirs. I swear.
No, but the point is that you are not supposed to be taking electricity from the mains. That's the point.
No, because they will never provide. If you build a house in Nigeria today, nobody will even you advise yourself because they don't care. You advise yourself to go and buy the pole, buy the cables, and then call the NEPA to come and connect the electricity for you. It is up to you to do that. Do you do that in that UK that you are now comparing with Nigeria?
No, you don't do that. I'm not saying that there are no peculiarities in Nigeria.
Has the worst,
the cost of living. I don't know why you are still disputing the point. It still stands that Nigeria cost of living is extremely low. That is the problem, and that's why maybe our services are not even that good.
What's made up cost of living? What are those necessities, those basic necessities that you need to live as a human being?
Cost to get food, cost to get housing, cost to go to school, hospital, all those things.
Among all these things that you just listed, which one do the government provide for the people?
I'm not. What does it matter? You can argue that the government provides all of them.
No, it matters because here where I live, the system provides constant electricity for me. One, the system actually have free education. If you are not capable of taking your children to private school, you can actually put them in public school for free, right? Mm-hmm. The system provides water. Each time I turn my tap, water is running. And the system also provides job opportunity for me to make money and to be able to pay for those utilities, right? So I am making the money, I am paying for the electricity. But is it same in Nigeria? No. The system made it difficult for you to even secure a job in Nigeria. If you're a beautiful lady, you must sell this thing before you must sleep with one useless idiot for you to secure a job, right? The system made it very difficult for you to even run a business. Now, at the top of all these things, right? They don't even provide the water. They don't provide the electricity. They don't provide anything. At the end of the day, you will be expected to pay for electricity that they did not give you. They call it estimated billing. Thank God now they have the prepaid meter nonsense, right? They don't provide water for you. So you have to go and provide it for yourself. And it costs a lot for you to provide the water for yourself.
No, they take that into account when they are measuring cost of living. They take all that
into account. Really? Now, let's do the mathematics then. Let's do the mathematics. How much is the least electricity tariff in Nigeria? What is the tariff in Nigeria? How many?
The tariff is stupid cheap, like monthly for a house, like a whole 4-bedroom house, fenced around and everything. The amount is more than like 15th the amount you pay here.
Like how much in estimate? In your own estimation?
30,000 now. Before it was around even 12,000.
30,000 naira, right? 30,000 naira. And then what again? Water. Do they provide it?
Yeah.
They provide water? Government?
No. That's borehole now.
Borehole? Who provide the borehole?
No, it's not about government. It's about how much it costs you to do it.
You are okay. Let's go by the 62,000 naira minimum wage. You're paid 62,000 naira as a civil servant. then you according to your own estimation of electricity, now you spend 30,000 naira for electricity. How much is left? 32,000. What are you going to do with it for the month?
See, it still doesn't change the cost of living. That's the figure. It's like you're trying to fight a number.
Electricity is one of the necessities of life, the basic needs of a man. They need electricity, right?
No, I'm not. That is not the argument. It's the cost it takes you to get those things in Nigeria. It's relatively cheaper compared to the West. I'm telling you now, like a 3-bedroom, or 4-bedroom house, you are paying about 30,000. 30,000 naira in the UK amounts to less than maybe 20,000, 20 pounds.
How much is the minimum wage in the UK?
For the same property in the UK, it's
no.
around
How much is your minimum wage in the UK that you are making the comparison with? How much is your minimum wage?
But that is not the argument. They are not doing that. They are just telling you this is the price. And now, if I go now and show you, okay, let me show another number that is going to give and shed light to what we're talking about. This one is tax information. That's the tax people take from their citizens and give to the government so that the government can use to do stuff. Look at the countries in the world. The highest taxed ones are like France, Denmark, all these other countries. And look at where Nigeria is again on the list here. You go down, or even African countries, Nigerians are below them. And where is Nigeria on this list again? Look at Nigeria here.
Are you still going on Wikipedia?
Oh my goodness.
So after everything that we advise you to leave Wikipedia, you're still using Wikipedia?
So you want to talk from your own mouth, that because you are the professor of all knowledge. You won't respect.
We are talking about the reality on ground. No, the reality, we're making reference to the reality on ground in Nigeria, not Wikipedia. I can go to.
I'm not saying all the things you are describing is false. It's true.
I can go on this Wikipedia and change whatever I want to change there.
No, you can't. They will check it and move it again. No, you can't. You can't change it, but you have to source your data, isn't it? You have to point it to somewhere that is reliable data. And
how many data did Tinubu source to be changing his age all the time on Wikipedia?
I'm not disagreeing with you that all this things you describe, all this experience you describe in Nigeria, it is true. But it's not has nothing to do with the numbers we are talking about. The numbers we are talking about is the reality of the world. You can't expect, like the machines, the car that they buy in Nigeria, is it made in Nigeria? You have to buy them from overseas where other people will spend more money on those things.
Now,
and Nigerians have to spend a little money.
Do you know today that it is cheaper for me to ship a car from Nigeria to the US than it is for me to ship car from US to Nigeria? Do you know that it's cheaper for me to import cars in US than it is?
Why do you think that is?
Useless government policy, irregularities in their policy.
Because you don't have scale. You don't have scale
in the tariff.
You don't have scale. You know how business works. If you sell more, you can afford to bring the price down. We don't have scale. We don't manufacture anything. We don't export. We barely even import. The only thing we do is import petrol and all the rest, and all the nonsense stuff we import into Nigeria that we don't need to import. See, all this you are saying is not a lie. We all know this is true. But these numbers, what it is telling is that there are other things you can do to fix it. You have to start raising revenue in your country. You have to start manufacturing. You have to start actually producing things so that you can actually increase the money in the hands of your people.
I agree with you. You have to start producing. You have to start exporting. So when you produce and export, you drive more revenue. You drive more taxation. You don't start with taxation first. You provide
all this logatru. He's jealous.
You provide an environment where your citizens can go into production, can go into manufacturing, can go into exportation. So when you provide this environment, there will be more revenue flowing to the government through taxation, through taxes and all that, right? So people will be employed. As they get employed, they pay tax when they receive their salary, right, or wages. So, and again, you're providing job opportunity for the people. You're providing more tax to the system. You don't just start taxing people when there is no provision for job creation, when there's no provision for people to actually work and pay the tax to people. People pay tax from even the gift, the money you give to them, they pay tax on it.
Yeah,
but in this country, you don't pay tax on gift. You actually get some things from gift.
What we are saying is that as a business and as a country, the country doesn't do a lot of revenue generation compared to most nations. That number is what you are seeing there. Nigeria doesn't generate money. That's why everything is so cheap in Nigeria. Because everything has to be, otherwise people cannot afford it at all.
Can I
please
come
go
in?
ahead.
Thank you, guys. You see, I've been listening.
I thought it was my turn to speak.
No, I'm just
to
okay.
speak, you know.
You know, I
I think
just
it's
got.
an interjection. It's an interjection. Don't you just
It
make
is.
an
It is.
interjection and allow them to
Oh, yeah,
speak.
It is. And I
go
tried
ahead,
to be
Go.
as succinct as possible on the matter of Dangote. I don't think we really understand who Dangote is. Now, from the time of importation of rice, sugar, and amenities like this, there was a great monopoly being done by the elite, I would say. What they did was to concentrate their issues into Dangote. Now, Dangote is not the richest black person in the world. What it is that a lot of the individuals who want to hide, they use Dangote as the front man of institutionalized corruption. So they have done this. The 16 billion that Dangote is supposed to own, he does not own that by himself. If you understand what Nigeria is about and the way monopolies were created in Nigeria. So if you take that as a forebear, a given, then you move forward into really, is Nigeria a functioning country? If we understand that everybody in the country basically has a noise making electrification on an individual basis via what we call, what is it?
Make it an interjection.
Sorry, I just want to put this in that we understand what's going on. Some of the data that you pronounced, forefather, it really does need analysis. We cannot take the data on face value. The data has to be broken down so we understand what that data says. If Nigeria from the early 80s was actually functioning as a country, by now we'll have everything we need. For the fact that everybody has their own water supply, their own electricity supply, that is a gross waste of money, because we'll be paying a lot less if these things were nationalized somehow. So I wanted to put that in as an interjection so we understand that we are not on a level playing field where Nigeria is concerned. It's the rich and poor with no middle ground. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. We are going to go to try to understand the number better. Who is next? I think it's Dexter.
Next.
Dexter, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Speaking on the Dangote point, I think the idea of the free market, the problem with Nigeria, it's not that people can't import. I mean, America, they import. Every economy imports. America, they import cars from China. The point is that they make it, the government, where Nigeria has a problem is that they give one person a license and they don't give another person a license. If you want to run a free market economy, you allow anybody that has capacity to import, let the person import. But what happens in Nigeria is that you create a policy that allows just a specific number. And I think that's where the whole Dangote shenanigan comes in. And like Jagun said, Dangote is not the individual you see. Dangote is an entity, a conglomerate of the elites that use him to fleece the Nigerian people, But what Nigeria needs is a free market economy where anybody, if Ekene wants to import cement, he should be able to import cement and sell at the price he wants to sell. That's free market. That's what would make the country grow. If Nigeria continues in the system of and unfortunately, the thing about Nigeria is that Nigeria is fractured to the foundation. So all these things we are saying will not work because the people that have fractured this nation, people that have held this nation captive since the 1970s are not going to let go, because they themselves, they are afraid. They don't want to let go of their interests. And that's why Nigeria is the way it is. Unfortunately, what's happening, Nigeria is expanding and their hands cannot hold on to it because it's expanding beyond their control. In the early 1970s, Nigeria was just a little above 100 million. Right now, the population has exploded to over 200 million. So their hands can't really hold it. But we must realize that the structure, that's the solution for Nigeria on the present structure will not work. It's completely unsustainable. It won't work. If you see the numbers, even this minimum wage they are talking about, do you know the effect of minimum wage? Even the 60,000, the 62,000 they are saying they are going to pay, they are thinking of paying. Do you know the effect to have on the economy? It's going to be catastrophic because the landlord is waiting to hear what the minimum wage is. What we don't understand about that minimum wage, we think the minimum wage is for civil service. It's not for civil servants. That is the minimum wage for a Nigerian worker. That means even in the person working in the pure water factory, the moment they say minimum wage is 62,000, he's legally entitled to earn 62,000. The guy that is working as a gateman, if you have a gateman or a driver in your house, the legal amount of money he must earn as a minimum will be 62,000. So it's going to rip the whole Nigerian economy apart. You don't just introduce measures like that. Unfortunately, they don't plan. Nigeria is not planned, unlike countries like the UK.
Sorry, are you saying you are against the increase in minimum wage?
I'm not saying against. I'm against it. What I'm telling you is that we don't know the impact. It is going to tear the Nigeria economy apart. Nigeria will literally fall in tatters. Even at that 62,000, Nigeria will fall in tatters. Look, they paid that 62,000 in less than 6 months. It is on record when they paid Udoji Award. 1 year after, they asked the people, were you better before or better before you got this money or now? They said they were better before they got the money. You don't just increase money. You peg your increments based on growth. You don't just start increasing money. Like, I'm not saying I'm against it, but unfortunately, Nigeria is not structured to be progressive. Nigeria is balkanized, and finding a solution.
Do they also peg the economy before they increase their own salary to 300% increase?
Yes, saying that's what Ekene was saying. The same thing. We're saying the same thing. So the way the foundation upon which Nigeria is running is not sustainable. It is running out of gas. In fact, Nigeria is out of gas. It's out of resources, and so all these things we are saying, Nigeria has to, if we want to solve the problem of Nigeria, it has to go down to the foundations, where before everybody was running at their own pace. The Western region they were investing in what they wanted to invest in. Before in Nigeria, what you earn in the Western region is nobody's business. Whatever the person is earning in the Western region is what the economy can pay. The people in the North, it was what the economy could pay. And then the Nigerian economy was doing very well. But this idea of everybody go to Abuja, that is Babiala. That is a beggar mentality. It means that's why the guy in Zamfara will not do anything. Will just be, I'm waiting. Do you know that most of these governors, the governor, is he Yari? Governor Yari was spending, he never lived in Zamfara. He was staying in Abuja throughout. You have some guys in Jigawa governor, they don't live there. Because what they do is they just get money. Then this present government has come inside, think that no country tax its way to prosperity. You don't tax your way to prosperity. Taxes does not make a country prosperous. When you want to make a country prosperous, look at the model in Taiwan. Look at the model in India. You create wealthy people among the middle class. You make it possible for the middle class to grow. You create SMEs that will be productive, that will be selling their products everywhere in the world. And for you to do that, you have to place subsidies on things like electricity, transportation. Example for Akedo Peter side, give a very, very nice example of electricity. This Nigeria electricity is a scam. He said, look, for you to pay, to give subsidy on electricity, it's very easy. All you need to say, there's nothing like band A. This one of band A, band B is rubbish. All you need to tell people is that forefathers, they are living in the UK. I'm sure if you were here during the COVID time when they were giving household subsidies on electricity. All they will tell you is, look, every month, for people that every month everybody gets, let's say, 100 units of electricity free. 100 units. Of course, the person staying in a 3-bedroom flat that doesn't have an air conditioner might not be able to finish that 100 units in a month. The people that have money will finish their 100 units, and after they finish their 100 units, they will start paying for it. So you can't come and say, oh, you're band A, you pay more money. No, You give everybody. That is how it is done in developed economies. These things are templates everywhere in the world. We don't have to. But unfortunately, these things will not work because one, Nigeria is a fractured system. The injustice in Nigeria is so endemic. It is even among some of us. It is so endemic that we cannot even see that the scales are in front of us. We cannot see. It is so bad that the people that have taken over the country, they cannot see beyond their nose. They can't see beyond their nose. And we are building on top of it's just like you get a structure, the foundations where instead of them to put piles as steel piles as the foundation, they put bamboo as the in the piles where they're supposed to put iron rods, they put bamboo. Then you now want to come and build skyscraper on top of the bamboo. What are you doing? It will not work. Each time you build, it will be sinking. And what is happening to Nigeria is that we try to build, it will sink. Oh, no, let's build some more. It is always going to sink. What we need to do is destroy everything. Now, when I mean destroy, I don't mean destroy the country. The people that make up Nigeria need to come together and decide the way, justified way to make progress. On the issue of Ekena, you were saying something on the issue of the headers. We must understand the complexity of this header situation. There are some elites, there are some Fulani elites who don't want. It is more like some people are in the house, then some people are outside. The people in the house don't want the people that are outside to come inside. I listened to Senator Alero. From what he was saying, the former governor of Kebbi State, from what I could deduce, there are some Fulanis that don't want the headers, the people that are headers, to leave their heading. They want those category of people to continue being pastoralists. They don't want to educate them. They want them to remain like that. That's why they will tell you, if you leave that, they'll say, that is their business. How can your business be to be roaming around? In fact, when they roam around, the value chain of the cow is reduced. You don't get anything from the cow again. The milk you're supposed to get, you don't get. So we must understand that complexity. It is not just a direct, let them do it. There is an elite class among the Fulani tribe that run a feudal system, whereby some people stay as oligarchs at the top, and they determine what happens at the base.
Hold on, Kenny.
So when we are addressing it, we must realize that if you just go out direct, in fact, the person that tried to address it technically was Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan was the person that tried to address it technically. The only way you can address this header stuff is one, you have to get those kids when they are kids and put them in school. That is the only way. The moment you can get them when they are children, in fact, you just say children between this age can never be headers. And you have schools for them where they must go to school. That way, you take the flames out of those oligarchs. You take it out, you take the sails off their wings. That is one of the ways to do it. Now, if you look at it, that is why when Buhari came inside, one of the things he did, he killed all those schools Jonathan did. Because Buhari is part of the syndicate. And he knew, because what happens in the northern part of Nigeria is that the oligarchs depend on the illiteracy of the population. So if you're trying to educate the population, if you're trying to educate the common man there, they will be very angry. They don't want the education there. That is why they say Boko Haram. It is war against book, war against Western culture, war against study. So you have to go and take, that is, for Nigeria to know peace, you have to do it technically. Take all those people off the streets, put them in schools, train them in vocational training. There was a man that gave an instance 50 years ago. Ghana wanted to take a direction. Ghana said their direction was that they were going to invest in education. Everybody in Ghana must speak Queen's English. And truly, a Ghanaian speaks English better than a Nigerian. A Ghanaian speaks English better than Nigerians. If you hear their intonation, they know the sound. However, Taiwan decided to take a direction. Taiwan said, look, what we are going to do is that we are going to invest in vocational training, which is technical schools for people. Is it not no wonder today Taiwan is the headquarters of semiconductors? That is why China wants to take over Taiwan. If Taiwan shuts down today, almost all the countries, all of us will shut down. Our computers, our phones, everything will shut down, because Taiwan is the headquarters of semiconductors now in the world. But Ghana, what is Ghana? Where does the English take you to? Nigeria must start investing in vocational schools, whereby people when you graduate from secondary school, you don't have to go to university. It's a useless. What are you going to university to do? Some children don't need to go to university. People can become welders, can become machinists, can become fitters, and they will earn good money, because the truth about it, that this university degree does not make us productive. It is people that are machinists, that are welders, fabricators. Those are the people that are making the economy grow. They make it boom. There is a large market in West Africa and Africa for us to meet. But until we start investing in the correct thing, all these ones they are talking of buying president, all those are just waste of money. But the truth about it, even us, we must realize the deceit in the system and not try to build on the faulty foundation. Because if we build on the faulty foundation, everything we do will still sink down and we go back to square one. Thank you.
I agree with you that the Northerners don't want their people to be educated and enlightened. Just 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Stop. No.
He called my name now. 30 seconds.
No. The point I was trying to make is that he summarized too many areas, and I know it's going to trigger you to come in. I don't want us to go back.
30 seconds.
I don't want
I agree with him.
No,
I agree with him completely.
No.
I just want to add to what he said.
I agree with him. So let's move on to the topic we are discussing.
30 seconds. What will he take out from you?
Okay, 30 seconds then.
So, my brother, I agree with you. They don't want their citizens to be educated and enlightened. They don't want their citizens to challenge them. They believe in feudal system, right? So that feudal system is what they are trying to bring down to the south, right? And we said no. And in order for peace to reign, let there be regional system. Let them live with their feudal system in their own region and do whatever they want to do with their feudalism, right? We want to operate democracy in the southeast, maybe south, right? So the feudal system should reign up there, and then we'll have their own. We'll have our own. But they said no, we must be one confused Nigerians. We said no. That is the problem. You can't force these people. They will never agree to educate their people. They will say they will kick against it.
Thank you,
have higher voting power.
Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, so this is about Dangote. Wimbo, please go ahead. Regarding this Dangote thing, are you a big fan of Dangote becoming the hero of Nigeria like Oyema is?
I don't have no problem with Dangote becoming, a well-known business tycoon in Nigeria. But where I have problem is the process. Is Dangote's company, any of his company, listed in the Nigerian Stock Exchange to Niger?
I'm not sure, but I will bet. I will guess that it's probably listed. I don't know. But it should be.
It is not. It is not. Look, let me tell you.
So what is the point?
I would describe Dangote as a special purpose vehicle for all the generals in Nigeria, why they were, still operating. And in 1999, during Obasanjo's time, he is and still remain their special purpose vehicle. Dangote is the man. Dangote is not the richest man. All the money that you see there is not his. It is people that looted your multiples of billions in tens. In fact, the amount that they are putting there is not even what is there. That is the problem. I have no problem. If the way the privilege Dangote has in Nigeria.
let me you asked whether Dangote is listed in the stock exchange. It appears they are listed in the stock exchange. Dangote Cement PLC is listed in Nigerian Stock Exchange. I don't know what that means though, but it's listed.
Once you list, most of you that read economy to a higher degree would know that once a company is listed, then it is open for Nigerians to go in there and buy shares and own it.
Exactly.
So that is how it is. So the only thing, if it is listed, in Nigeria, is it not in Nigeria where pythons swallow money? You will see it there on paper, but it's not functional. It's not operational. That is the truth. It is, you people should know the country that you are living in, the country you call your own. Even if you, to Niger, if they give you the privilege Dangote has gotten from Nigeria, you will be multiple. In fact, you will make more billions of dollars than Dangote. He is not utilizing it very well. That is what I would say. You know, for me, for the light, when you it is an for me, it is way off the mark for anybody to compare Nigerian minimum wage or the living standard as low, just like to Nigeria you are doing it. The first thing you should consider is the utility provisions to the people. How much is it costing them to pay for water in a month? How much is it costing them to pay for electricity? How much is it costing them to pay for refuse sanitation fee? How much is it costing them to pay, which other one? Electricity. How much is it costing them? What is their per capita? What is the minimum wage? In the UK, your minimum wage over there is about 11 point something pounds per hour. Who in Nigeria is paid 11 point something pounds equivalent in naira per hour in Nigeria? Then how will you compare such person with the purchasing power of a British person? The inflation rate in the UK is less than 6%. But in Nigeria, it's 33 point something. I think Ghana is now 23 or 24. So you do not compare such things. This is just like comparing apple with orange. No, orange and apple, they are the same sizes, the same thing. Comparing orange with a banana. The Nigerian workers are suffering. They are mini government to themselves. The average Nigerian man produces electricity for himself. Average Nigerian man provides borehole for himself. Even sometimes in Abia State, Obingwa, the road that led to my mother's village in Obingwa, local government, was tarred by people like you that contributed money that live in the diaspora. The government didn't do it. So for me, I don't. If Nigeria is going to liberalize the market like they talk, you see it on paper, but it is not physically implemented. Open the economy. The Nigerian government is supposed to be a regulator that is going to regulate. If you are going to sell that, or maybe Dangote is showing interest in the steel industry, which is already there, is it a sole source bidding or an open tender? If it is open tender, where everybody will come and compete, then that would be good. But if it is sole sourcing, something is wrong with Nigeria. Thank you so much. Uncle KG, Anna Mekele.
Thank you. Pastor, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't. I'm trying to grasp your comparison of minimum wage in the UK and or cost of living in the UK and in Nigeria. So I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. But my question is, what is the way forward? How do we salvage? What's the way forward? That's I was probably on the phone talking to a few people. The same question I asked them: what is the way forward? Dexter, you said the foundation is wrong. We should start all over again, break the foundation. When we say the foundation is wrong, I try to wrap my head around it as to what do we mean by the foundation is wrong? Is it by I don't understand I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be smart here. I really don't understand when we say the foundation is wrong. Who was there when the foundation was being laid? What was used? Is it that they're supposed to use concrete and they use awebun? You real good. So what exactly is this foundation we are actually? And I'm being honest, and I'm not Desta. I am being honest.
It's a pastor. Just 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
I'm not
30
the
seconds.
moderator. Forefather is the moderator. I'm not, but it's
Okay.
not there. Go ahead.
He will
Please
permit
go
me.
ahead.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
You see, the foundation they are talking about, we kept on hammering on this. I was a serving and active military soldier. I was a soldier.
Yeah, no, my brother is a retired. My brother is a retired naval officer. I
Ask
was in
him.
Liberia. My nephew
I,
is in Navy.
yeah,
My nephew is in Navy.
ask
So.
him. Ask him the people that prepared that 1999 constitution that has empowered these people to commit this, what I call crime against humanity.
Okay. So
towards Nigerians.
If I understand, you said the foundation is the 1999 constitution. Would that be correct? Dexter, do you agree with that? I'm not the moderator. I'm just trying to wrap my head.
I don't think the foundation is the 1999 constitution. The foundation the foundation of Nigeria. Yeah, so for me, the 1999 constitution is just an accumulation. So the foundation of Nigeria starts from 1966. That was when the constitution was cannibalized. You know, so that's when I say the foundation. That is where the big mistake was made.
Not 1914. Not 1914. When amalgamation was done forcefully.
Well, we can argue for the 1914. You know, we can argue about that.
Okay, go ahead.
I bet to complain that it's when Udua decided to make Oyo in that location. He could have put it
No.
somewhere.
See, why we can't say the 1914? You see,
why do you keep looking for excuses to say why we are not functional? No. Other nations have worse foundation.
No, forefather. It's not other nations. See, if you look at even the countries in Denmark is as diverse as we are. But the people
I hope
came
you guys
together.
Understand I see my flaw.
Yes, sorry, Pastor, sorry.
You are asking questions now.
But what I want to tell Father, there are other diverse nations like Nigeria, but the difference is that the people came together and decided what we work for them, not what we work for a few. We must realize Nigeria is in state capture after 1966. Nigeria has been in state capture since.
Hold on, Dexter. Are you under any illusion that the founding of all nations is what works for the elites?
No. I didn't say so. I said some nations come together and decide, like places, like Norway. Norway, before the oil boom, Norway knew what they knew about. Norway was a very poor country. But they came together and said, this is what will work for us. And they created a system that works. Now, when oil came, Norway, they knew where they were coming from, how poor they were. So they created a trust fund and they started pumping their oil money into the trust fund. And Norway today is one of the most developed nations of the world. The problem is, like, imagine the statements a president of Nigeria said, that the problem of Nigeria is not money. The problem is that Nigeria does not know what to do with money. That shows that we are inept. How can somebody say that? Your leader comes out and says,
because he doesn't have scope. Don't you understand? He's limited. His whole budget is around.
So imagine that
on side chicks and all the rest. That's why. What else does he need money for?
That is
to build bridges.
Forefathers, that is the leader. Imagine that is the head of. If the head is rotting, what do you expect? That is so, Pastor. This is what I'm saying. The people that we bequeathed, that captured Nigeria after 1966 had no vision. Sir Ahmadu Bello took the loan to build the Kainji Dam that is still serving till today. Ask yourself, all these other guys, I mean, these guys had no vision for the country. They just captured the state. And when they captured the state, oil money came. And everybody had, look, a lot of people have put their trunk.
I'm taking back the floor. Just that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Pastor. Back to
you. No, honestly speaking, Jago, you understand where I'm coming from. I mean, if we go to an architect now and say, listen, the foundation of this structure, it's bad. And I think either the architect or the surveyor, whoever it is, will give us advice as to, okay, you know what, this foundation is bad. They've built on it. So it's either we're going to dismantle. I mean, they will do an assessment will be carried out, and they are going to tell us, okay, you know what, you're going to destroy the structure and destroy everything and raise it up back from the scratch again. Or, well, the structure is not that bad, it's not that heavy, the foundation can carry the structure, but the risk analysis will be carried out. So we've been talking about this foundation, and I keep asking again, and I'll continue to ask again, because it is what we need to do now. With, like Jagun said earlier, which, like I said, I hate to always agree with him, but I do agree with him that we've spoken about everything. There's not on different platform. We've spoken about it. It's time for action. It's time for doing. It's time for
At least
acting.
is Dangote not a doing man?
They said we should not talk about Dangote. They said we should not talk about Dangote. So stop talking about
Why?
Dangote.
Who says we should not? It's not who
Okay.
who is deciding what
because
the
you're a
moderation?
moderator, you don't listen to people talking.
Of course, I don't listen to them now. I don't listen to them. Their opinions are all abrogated. Eh?
Can I just say it's actually? Can I just say it's actually my turn after Pastor? If I can go.
Okay,
I'm done now. It's Forefather is the I'm done.
Yeah, Jagun, please go ahead. Then it will be Righteous Man and KJ.
Thank you. You see, Pastor, it's not that I want agreement or disagreement necessarily, but I think we have to come to the point of understanding and agreement. And I think that we cannot put the horse after the cart in order to move forward. What I mean by that,
100% correct.
What I mean by that is timing is essential. And I don't think we can move forward without understanding. I think Nigeria is stuck. It's stuck because it is on rocky foundation. The foundations aren't secure. Forefather always likes to speak about military and the fact that we do not have security in the nation. That's number one, to let you know that the foundations are rocky. Now, what I intend with my pursuit where Nigeria is concerned, as a businessman, I can't function properly in that country, and I've tried. I've met Dangote, and who I met in front of him before meeting him was Pakistanis and Oyimbos. There was not one Nigerian in his group, not one. And before I actually met him, I went through turbulence in arguing with an idiotic Pakistani telling me about Nigeria. I was so incensed, I wanted to cut his head off. But I had to take a step back and look at who was surrounding this man, Dangote. They weren't our people. They were all foreigners. The only people that are really with Dangote are those who are hidden, that are black. They don't need to be there. Now, all I'm saying is that indeed, from 1966, that is not a foundation. That is disturbing. That was the disturbing of the Nigerian foundation. The Nigerian foundation was built and worked under regionalism. By the time we came to states and all these divisive pursuits of building states, we became unfounded. Nigeria was working. You've got to remember, Nigeria was working. People like my father, my late father, he would reminisce as to Nigeria was far better with the Oyimbos. Now, whilst I didn't like that terminology, he's right. The place was working. The place was functioning. Now, if I can, before you come in, sir, I'd just like to put to you that it is now that we are not functioning as a nation in any way. Now, what I mean...
I'm not taking words from your mouth, Jagun. If you just confirm that, even with your father, that things were working back in Nigeria then, that means the foundation is not the problem then.
No, that's not what it means. That means that since then, the foundation has been broken down and terrorized. That's what it means. That's how we're functioning today. We're not functioning like a country.
I'm just trying to understand you. Okay, the foundation was so prior to that, the foundation was good. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that prior to that, we were under colonial rule. During colonial rule, enough negotiation went on that the people who were under that colonialism were working. That every man knew his job. Every man wanted to build. You see, Nigeria is not that old a nation. Even under 1914, if you would take it, 1901, let's take it from there. From 1901 to today, it's not a long time ago. And in that time, we came from the grassroots, which is basically that we were all in our own disparate positions, farming mainly. That was the mainstay. Now, given that, we came from farming to now cultivating all kinds of cash crops and using wood, rubber, all kinds of local materials to grow the economy. The people who really won in that were the colonialists. By the time they left, they set up an apparatus that was due to fall down, even though it stood up for a good 6 years before that time. Now, by 66, the breaking began. The breaking, the unstabilized nation that we have today begun. Now, it is our job in our generation to recognize how Nigeria is so dysfunctional, be it the economy, be it the culture, be it the people, be it the politics. It's
Okay,
all. Wait, I'm having my turn, sir, and I don't mind you coming in, but I'm just putting forward to you what I see as the reality of Nigeria's position today. If Nigeria was a functioning country, it would be the top 5 nation in the planet. No two ways about it. It would be the top 5 of the nations of the world. It would be like America, China, Germany, Japan, India, Nigeria. That would have been the course. But it is not that. It is far from that. We're not even 18th. I think we're something like 30-something in the world, which means that we're dwindling because we have everything in that country to perform as a nation, a powerful nation at that. Now, I don't know whether or not you're satisfied to say that Nigeria has foundation, and from that foundation, we are existing as normal beings. I can't see where you actually get that from. I don't understand you.
But no, you said during the time of your father things were good, and I agree with you on that.
Okay.
And I agree with you on that. So something went wrong along the way.
Yes.
And so, and I believe over time, because I'll give you the floor soon. And I believe over time, experts have diagnosed this problem. They've diagnosed it, they've seen it, and they prefer solution. Maybe the solution was not accepted. So I am now asking again. If you remember, I don't know that last year or last 2 years, I'm trying to remember the name of where this ship got stuck, and it disrupted a lot of ship going in and coming out. I don't know if that's okay. Can somebody remind me the name?
In the Suez Canal.
The Suez Canal. I think it was for about a month. It disrupted going in and out, but every effort was put into it, including dredging, including allowing the tide to rise up, including pumping water into it. It was freed at the end of the day. So if we apply this analogy or this analysis to Nigerian situation, it's stuck, like you said. It is stuck. So something has to be done to free it. And that's what I'm asking. What is that thing that needs to be done to free it?
My brother, it's a fair question. If that's the real question, because you didn't surmise it like that in what you have to say.
Okay, I just did again.
No, hold on. The reason why I say that we can't go forward when we are stuck. You are almost saying, let's go forward regardless. We have to. No, it came across in that way, which is to say that the analogy that you gave. Wait.
what is the way forward, please.
Fair,
Don't
fair.
misquote me.
No.
Please.
It's not like
Go
that.
ahead.
We are having a conversation here. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is that we have to recognize before we even go forward that it is stuck. That's what we have to
We
recognize.
already recognize that.
Wait,
Everybody
please.
recognizes that.
No, you got to wait. You got to. In order to answer your question, we have to recognize where we are now. If we just
Okay,
say,
hold
"Oh,
on one second, Jago. Hold on.
no, it's unfair what you're doing to my time."
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I just want to. I'll give you the floor back. Dexter, do you recognize that we are stuck? If not now, do you recognize that we are stuck?
We are stuck now, of course. It's
I'm asking a question, please. If not now, do you recognize that Nigeria is stuck?
Yes, Nigeria is
stuck.
For so many years.
Okay. KJ, do you? Just nod your head. Okay, I don't need to, I can answer for Kene. Kene recognize that Nigeria is stuck. So, Jagun, everyone recognizes that Nigeria is stuck. What is the way forward again?
Okay, you've done your exercise. Well done. What I'm dealing with is in that recognition of stuckness. We know it's not stuck as the vessel in the Suez Canal alone, where we know there was not enough water, there was not enough space, there was a lot of traffic happening at the time. They were trying to organize 2 lanes. We can analyze that and prefer the solution. Where Nigeria is concerned in this stuckness, it's multifaceted at this time of languishing responsibilities. We have languished in the stuckness for the last, God knows, 40 years, let's say. 40 years of stuckness, 40 years of debt to ourselves.
What do we do? What do we do?
No. What we do is interesting, and it's what we discuss here. And in our discussions, we know what do we do is very difficult. Why is difficult? Because there are a million opinions about the way we move forward. And at the very top, there are those who are satisfied with the way things are. I, for one, am totally unsatisfied about the way things are in a country that has so much promise, not just to itself, but to the Black world in its entirety. Given this, I say that the problems that we have can be easily isolated. How do we do that? I say to you, sir, I say the stuckness is the system. And unless that system is broken, ain't no one moving nowhere.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I beg your indulgence again, please. I'm going so I'll give you Jagun. How do we break the system?
Oh, fantastic. You see, my brother.
You have 2 minutes in this regard because your time. I'll give you 2 minutes.
No worries, bro. No worries. You're asking me the question, get the answer.
Yeah.
I say to you that restructuring or indeed regionalization is the way forward. And this regionalization that I speak of is not necessarily tribal. If, for example, we had a Western region that encompassed to Kwara State, Kogi State, at least a good portion of Kogi State, the old Bendel states, into our own clave, that would be a great beginning for that part of the world as a region. It's not just Yorubas amongst there. If the Ijaw people, not just because they're Ijaws, because there are many people again in that area, but if we took the Ijaw West, which is Bayelsa State, the Ijaw East, which is rivers, and probably some of the other states that are on that riverine area, I would suggest that this functioning would allow the people in those areas and regions a way of brotherhood at one level, and 2, a way of being competitive with other regions in that country. Now, we know, if I can just land on this, we know that every state or every area is not necessarily completely viable. However, because we have the FCT, and the FCT knows who are the regions that have the most economic difficulty, that they should be given priority. Without this sense of balance, there is no way forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ngozika, the floor is yours, please.
Why will you give it to Ngozika? I thought I was going to be the next person.
I'm giving her preference. I apologize. I'm
No,
giving her
you should have
preference
told me
because
that.
you're a woman.
Because she's an
If you don't mind.
underrepresented minority. We need to
So
allow
you
her.
can't just jump in and say you are giving her authority. Why? You ask
KJ, you know now, women have a say.
no, but I deserve to be asked. I am an authority myself. I deserve to be asked. Not that I have anything. I think that is
You are aware of the rules now.
No. The rule doesn't have to be that you not tell me.
Okay, KJ. Okay,
Yes.
can we KJ,
KJ, go
can we
ahead,
follow
go
the
ahead.
rules?
Ngozi,
Okay,
Yes,
can we follow the rules?
I can go ahead. God is my sister, so but you ask me, please. The right thing.
Emiloko, KJ.
Yes, it's my turn. So you ask me. Ngozi, go ahead. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I wish I can follow you people and shine it, but I'm not feeling so affable this evening.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Really pissed. I was saying something in the comments. I said I was just going to come and rant. And since you gentlemen have always requested for solution, I give you a very simple solution to Nigeria's problem. So I just discovered recently that I've been very naive. Yeah, very, very naive. Look at me thinking Nigeria was redeemable. Very naive. And no, before you start this spread, please wipe it off. I'm not in the mood for it, honestly. I am dealing with loss. And the last thing I
I'm
need
just
now
being
is a smirk
happy.
on
I'm just being
anybody's
happy
face. I
because
don't care.
you're waking up.
Yeah, you're happy and I'm not. So I'm not. So you can wipe the smirk off your face. Yeah. It took me this long to realize that Nigeria was, and not, I don't know if irredeemable is the word or far gone is the better word, because where do I even start from? For a couple of weeks now, I stayed away from this platform because of an unfortunate incident that worked in my favor because I had been planning to take away from the platform. I had been planning to take a break from the platform. Then something unfortunate happened that forced me to stay away. And then, but I used to watch you gentlemen sometimes when the show is over. And I think it was at that point I started realizing that, oh my God, we're gone. And living here, seeing people go through it, and I come online, I come on this our platform, and all I hear is rhetoric. No offense to anyone. And I'm pinching myself, and I'm asking, are some of these people living in La La Land? Like, I have to continually remind myself that every single one here is a Nigerian. But somehow, I don't know how come, some of you are so detached from the reality here. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know why. I don't know how. So back to when I realized that Nigeria was not going to be salvaged. Let me give you a short story about one of the losses. This one is the one that pained me. I had a friend bring to my notice the case of a child that was being abused. She sent me videos and pictures of the abused child, but she had a condition. She didn't know what to do, and she was caught up in the eye of the storm because she could not act for reasons I can't state here. So she wanted to know if there was something I could do or if there was a direction I could point her in. I was going through something that time. I was not in the right headspace, but hearing abuse and seeing the video of that child, I had to do something. So I reached out on WhatsApp first, the group I belong to ask for what could be done for the child. I didn't get very positive responses. Then I went on Twitter. I asked, and then somebody directed me to Wako, and then gave me their number and their address. I forwarded everything to this lady immediately, and I kept checking up on her. How far have you called them? Because there was something going on at that time, so she couldn't immediately do anything drastic to remove the child from that environment. She needed what was going on at that time to be over before anything could be done. When I saw the video, I was like, please let it not be in the process of waiting for all this thing to clear before you do something. Let this child not go and die. If only I knew. Till today, I have to live with that in my conscience. Before we could get help, that girl died. Before we could get help. And do you know the most painful part? We called we called Waco's landlines many times. For days, it was not going through. And being that I was where I was at that time mentally, I couldn't go to their office. And now for the rest of my life, I have to live with the knowledge that I could have done something to save this girl's life, and I didn't. I couldn't. People are talking about grazing roots. People are talking about Dangote. What? Do you think random people on the street care about the things, some of the things we talk about here? Do you think they care? They don't. They don't care about Dangote. They don't even give an F about Tinubu. They don't care about the Akpabio. Most of them don't even know who Akpabio is. They don't care. All they care about is that where they used to enter bus and go to before 400 naira, it's now 200, 250. All they care about is that instead of recharging lights 5,000 naira a month and it will last them for 30 days, it now lasts for a week and they have to look for another money and recharge lights. All they care about is that for people like me in Enugu, is that their governor said will give them water after 180 days. And before the 180 days elapsed, so that people would not drag him on social media, he went and commissioned a project that had not been completed. And now what you have, and his vuvuzelas are praising him, is old Enugu that had water are the only people that still have water. He's going around Enugu digging up holes, fixing whatever he says he's fixing. Finish one, let's see it. He's not. So you have to, if you are like me, and we have so random people, normal people in the street are dealing with real life issues every day. Yet people come here and pontificate. People come here and speak grammar and listen to the sound of their own voice. Meanwhile, people they die every day for this side. And I'm not just talking physical death. If it was physical death, maybe it should be better. Was it the voice note somebody sent me this evening and she was crying? Said that the only thing that is preventing her from killing herself is her son. How old is the son? 3 months old. That is the only thing that is preventing her from killing herself. And if you see this person, you say she's better off, she's better than most Nigerians. Do you know what is frustrating her? Business. Doing business in Nigeria is what is frustrating her. So let me just save the details and just give you the solution. The solution to all these things in Nigeria is that we wake up and everything is burning. That's where I am mentally now. Let everything burn. Everything, let it burn. Let everything scatter. People are too comfortable. Maybe when things start burning, everybody now, hey, it's burning. Yeah, that's where I am at right now. Because diplomacy will no longer cut it. Rules and regulation will no longer cut it. Constitution amendment will not do anything. Electoral reform will not do anything. The only thing that will solve Nigeria's problem now is craze, total chaos, anarchy. And if you doubt me, Go and listen to the voices in the streets. Go and hear people's pain. Know what it is to buy 4 pieces of tomato for 1,000 naira. You know what it is to buy a single onion, a single piece of tiny onion for 100 naira, 150. Know what it is to buy 1 kg of gas. The last time I filled my gas, 1 kg of gas for 1,100 naira at a gas station. Some people buy it 1,350 naira.
And the money is not there to buy a more.
A single, I remember last year around this time. Oh, thank you for even saying. I remember last year around this time when I went to get some food items at the market. I was showing you people a piece of yam I bought. Any of you that was here that day or watched that show will remember some people laughing at themselves and not me, saying, "Hey, Ngozi have come again. She's coming to show food stuff." And I remember buying that yam for 450. That same size of yam as I speak to you now. If you get it for 1,500, they dash it to you. The same size of yam, very small, just like the length of this my hand, very small, very slim. If you get it for 1,500 and they dash it to you, you should be thanking the person. So my solution is let it burn. Me anyway, they say if I wake up tomorrow and there is anarchy, I'll like it, because nothing is working anymore. You are sick, you go to the hospital, is either you are misdiagnosed, I don't know what is going on anymore, or they diagnose you and they don't have the right drugs to treat you, or they can't even diagnose you because either the specialist is no longer there as Jakpa, or they don't have the equipment, or one consultant has collaborated and got put it in his private hospital. And for people that like me that thought they had it a bit easy and we're doing, I had health insurance. From paying 3,500 monthly for my health insurance company now sent me message, that blessing, because from July 1st we are upping our insurance fee so that to provide better access for you. So instead of paying 3,500, I'll be paying 8,100 naira, over 100% increase. Over 100% increase, and there is no guarantee. The most crazy thing is I go to the hospital and there are still things that it won't cover because it is basic plan. Basic 8,100 naira. I do not have a primary dependent. Everything or everyone that is dependent on me is secondary. I can choose not to, but how can you? So imagine people that have primary dependents. Maybe imagine people that have 2, 3, 4 kids. Come here, talk about Akpabio, talk about the Senate president, you speak gram. You don't think they care? To buy bobo that their children will take and go to school, they won't see money to buy it. To even see transportation to put the children inside can take them to school in the morning, they won't see. Children are not trekking to school. And you know the risk of that. So, I've said my piece. Burn the whole country, let everybody rest. Let there be anarchy, let there be chaos. And maybe people that feel they are comfortable now become a bit uncomfortable. And then when everything finish burning, maybe from the ashes, if they will be rebuilding, they'll be rebuilding. If not, Otilo will continue
My
like
sister,
that. Now we're done.
after the burning, it's still those people that you say we shouldn't talk about that will come back.
It's my turn, no.
They are rebuilding it.
Hold on, Ferrari.
And
it's my turn, no.
Ferrari, hold on.
If the street is what you painted it to be now, I think we'll know.
Yeah, see what she said just now, and that's when I was playing that video earlier on today. I felt like the way the president and Akpabio was laughing. That's the kind of stuff that drives people mad.
Exactly.
That's the kind of stuff that can lead to the kind of vision that Nkosika is painting here. You know, it's like it's like completely detached from reality. They don't seem to understand the damage they are causing to people's lives. I've never seen leaders that just do that to their people, just laugh at them publicly, even. But
the people have not shown
it's my turn, no.
Yeah, so
it's my
that will not work.
Please, guys. Can I talk now? Can I talk now?
Alaba, my brother. Alaba, I need to call you. Alaba, my brother. I need to call your attention to your haste in having to speak. There is somebody in front of you, my brother. Please calm down.
I've been in the background waiting, Jagun.
It doesn't matter where you are. There's turns, and KJ is before you.
No,
if you're looking.
Yeah.
KJ spoke earlier.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I haven't said anything.
Anyway, you see, I didn't want to come into this discussion. I've been listening to, for more than 3 hours. I've been following you guys. I felt a bit, but somehow forefather is beginning to come around because Ngozi is a lady and her disposition probably have been able to turn him around. So he now have a second thinking, because this is some point you have been arguing all this while. We are telling you that people who are in this position, and you see, I don't agree also when people say Nigerian people are to blame. You can blame a man for as much as he has the ability to turn around a situation. You cannot blame me when all the apparatus of power is in your possession. The apparatus for violence is in your position. The apparatus to equally distribute the wealth is in your position. The apparatus to govern is in your position. I'm just a subject. And then you blame me for running down the economy. This is what I don't enjoy listening to at all. The Nigerian public has nothing or no part to play in where Nigeria has been led to. We were unwillingly being led to where we are. Even when ordinary people who we are criticizing, some of them paid with their lives. They paid the ultimate price. And if you want to forget, some of us who are in the business of reporting news, we cannot forget in a hurry the Legiwas issue. These are people who have stood their ground and saying, you guys are leading us to a dead end. And nobody listened to them. He's not the only one. There are many other people who have stood their ground saying, look, where you are taking
Mazen also told them they caught him and today they are detaining him.
Yes. Now, remember that when Babangida wanted to take the SAP program in 1983, 1985, the whole Nigeria said no. They took it to public. The public said, we do not want any SAP. But they went ahead to take it. They went ahead to devalue the Naira. They went ahead to devalue the Naira. They went ahead to, that is the beginning of the free fall that Nigeria began. So now you come and you say, and especially those in government, they say, we should now tax ourselves. We did this to ourselves. No, you took us there. At least for once, accept responsibility for the leading crabs are taking us to. Because they're leading us to a dead end that didn't mean anything. Is it because we didn't have the people capacity to understand what was going on? They refused to listen to those people. And now, the same Nigerian public that have constantly been suffering the brunt of their misgovernance since the beginning of the Nigerian independence are the same people that have been called to keep sacrificing. Okay? And then somebody tells me that giving them 62,000 naira or 100 or whatever is going to cause inflation. How, for crying out loud? How? Okay? How would that be? Anyway, let me stop for now because I don't know who is stopping me in my room.
Thank you, KJ. I think it's Ferrari that is next, isn't it? Ferrari, please go ahead.
Yes, it's hard to be patient. I have to learn patience. Oh God, I hope I can handle tomorrow with my impatience. That would be real fun. I can see Pastor Yikro laughing there. Anyway,
point of correction, I wasn't laughing. I was doing something else. Okay. And I'm glad you acknowledge that you'll be here tomorrow. We will see how you will handle it. We will
see. It will be interesting.
He is going to do fantastically. My worry.
Okay. You should be there.
Those people clapping for you today, you will see them tomorrow.
I will.
We should be wishing him well, not looking for his downfall.
No,
Kulata has already promised me hell.
I wish you well.
End it there. End it there. Let it end there.
It's not easy. It's easy for you to be outside and be throwing the stone. And when you go inside and people are throwing the stone,
when you're on the hot seat, it's a different story. I'll be there.
I look forward to it. I wish you all the best.
You will enjoy it. I promise you, Pastor. You will enjoy it. I tend to avoid Nigerian discussion on personal stories. If you all noticed, I stay away from them. That's because two reasons. One, they are too many and they are too tragic. Even within my family, you know, I stay away from them. They're so too many and so tragic. So I tend not to come from. But I spoke with 5 Nigerians recently. You understand? One of them, we did a luta together with Dele when we were in Lasso. And I asked him, why are you quiet now? He didn't have anything sensible to tell me. I told him to come to this show. He expressed some views, which I've told him those views should be shared publicly, not most of which I disagree with. And then I asked him, what's your view of Dele Farotimi? He said, he's a nuisance. I weak. What's your view of Mayegun? He said, is another curse word. He's an asshole. I weak. What's your view of this? Are we? It just tells me where he's. That's one Nigeria. Second Nigeria, my best friend here in Chicago, Ayo Agunbiade. You know, he's the one who got me into this Nigerian election team. I didn't know who Obi was until like a month to the election. Be honest with all of you, I have written Nigerian out of my diary for a while, and then I said, "There's this movement, there's this group, there's." Said nothing would happen. Then I called my friend in London, Bashiru. There's a movement or something going to change. My Bashiru in his usual, down low one need structure. They don't have structure. Okay. And so I started paying attention myself, you know, doing Google, YouTube, and everything. And I saw the whole election played itself out, and the whole rigging announcement. And I told Bashiru that he was wrong. These people really do have a force, you know. So that goes. That's Ayo. Ayo said, I talked to Ayo. Olalaba, onimaje parotwe. Aima fada lera wa gbeyin nilu yeni. Translation: we're going to chase each other around with cutlass. That's the second Nigerian. A third Nigerian, female. I sent him things from Dr. Damages. I sent her through WhatsApp. She replied, I think I wrote it down. But Leo, you are still doing this political stuff. That's her comment. She's been cut out from the Nigerian reality. She's not interested. But Leo, sympathizing with me. Then there are others. One was in my family. Similar story to what Ngozika just said. A child, involving a child, very tragic. How the child was died and the child was taken, police station, arrested. It was just something that shouldn't be happening in this in this century. How much more this world? Then there were other stories. People, anything. No, the usual Niger story. No, tragic. I stay away from private stories. They are too tragic. But I know my own personal story with our country. I'm a very lucky person. Could have been dead now when in Satellite Town. On the day I got admission into LASU, I was going to, what's that market called in Festac? I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the market in Festac. I was going to the, Is it Ladipo? No, not Ladipo. Agboju is in Festac, right in the middle of Festac back in those days. Anyway, I was going to Festac. Agboju
Alakija.
I think it's Agboju. I can't remember. I think it's Agboju. So I was going to Festac, and this
Agboju market in Festac.
Yeah, in Festac, yeah. And this man was doing his kabu in Satellite Town. And while doing his kabu, Babak Balagba, struggling for his survival, he was looking back, collecting money, and then his car went off the road, hit me from the back, broke my both legs, both tibia and fibula of both legs. And I'm a very lucky human being. So God, as God will have it, my uncle is a doctor and also a colonel, a retired colonel. In fact, very popular back in those days because he also ran for presidency with Obasanjo during the 1999. Was just there to come give me money for school fees. And so he has an hospital, Ilupeju Medical Center. And that was how they took me down there. And that was how I'm able to walk today. I still have metal pins in my leg. So I'm a very lucky person. And then I got out 2 years after I got out of hospital, resumed school, finished LASU, did a lot of aluta in LASU with the likes of, I always say, Dele, Tony Olusonya, Wale Okuniyi is now the youth PRO for labor, youth something for labor, but top-notch Nigerians. Did a lot of aluta back then. In the days of Otedola, I was expelled from school. I was number 2 on the expulsion list. We were called the LASU 34. 2 years, the school was closed down. Those who know the story knows the story. You know, Otedola called us back. I think Gani and Falana represented us back in those days. So after the whole incident, I narrowly graduated from LASU. And then I said, I got to get out of this country. That was during the Babangida era. And they killed one of us back then. I can't remember the boy's name. They shot him in the eye. We did a lot of riot for them to take him abroad to the hospital, but they never did. The boy died. I can't remember his name. What's his name? Yeah, my memory fails me. So back then, so I got out. While I was preparing to get out of the country, there's no country I didn't write for admission. My co-friends in Lagos Island, the Bashiru I called him now in London and all the rest, and Ayo, that's here now, we're all into Lagos Island politics. Back then, Babangida was arranging some politics. The likes of Bola Ige stayed away from that politics then. They said, sit down, look, make her they look them. This is not a lead nowhere. And so they were into all those things. And I'm like, why would you young, intelligent boys join these people knowing fully well? Anyway, I kept planning. I got out. So since I got out, never partook in politics, never went back until that my same friend Ayo, both of us happen to be here in Chicago now, said something happening in Nigeria. And so that's how I pick up that banner again. And I saw that, 30 years, 25 to 30 years. Back then I ran because the water would cover our mouths. The seed has grown to a mighty Iroko tree and is far, far much more worse than now. So some people like me, 55 now, we have a sense of history. We went through the Babangida era. You know, I left in, was it 97, the middle of Abacha. I was in Belgium when I heard Abacha died. I even heard before, when I called home that we heard that Abacha is dead. My sister, Mama Sobe, that was how bad Abacha was. You know, Abacha died, and then, but in 1999, there was something I know that a lot of Nigerians found out last year, that we didn't have a democracy. What we had was a permanent coup d'etat by the ruling elite against the masses. And I don't understand how so many educated Nigerians will not know that, and I, who don't have any much education, just knew that until last year. And then the last year incident started showing Nigerians, started sensitizing some of them. But damage has been already done. The decay has run deep. The gangrene is too deep. This morning when we were talking, I told you about, it all started in 1966. No, 63 actually. It's a whole Nigerian problem. Before I was born, the voices were suppressed. After voices were suppressed, action were suppressed. After action were suppressed, it led to wrong action. And talking about wrong action, tomorrow I will highlight the roles of one man in Nigerian history that most people don't talk about. And his recent interview to Channel, he did talk a little bit about the Nigerian Civil War and why that war happened. He said it happens because of two men, one intelligent, one non. Between two men, that was why Nigerian war. I said I'm talking about General Ishola Williams. I'll bring his screen up for you tomorrow to view. That man was a great man, although never acknowledged. It was him, according to Tell and Newswatch back in those days when I was young, that stood up in Dodam Barrack when Babangida gathered all the military officers to tell them he has annulled June 12 and will be continuing. That man stood up. He says, sir, all we know is that on June 12, the military would leave for the barracks. And he sat down. Back then and then, Babangida knew that water has finished behind the fish. That was why Babangida stepped aside. That was why Obasanjo called him he has never seen somebody who is greedy and fearful. Get yourself acquainted with Nigerian history. You will know that in Koti War Latibere, things have gone wrong from the beginning. Electricity, earlier you were talking about the canal and a ship stuck in the canal. The Nigerian issue is not a ship stuck in the canal. No. It's a decayed gangrene. It's worse than a ship stuck in the canal. I keep telling you, one time, Father, I don't know if you remember, when I would tell you guys, to solve Nigerian problem peacefully would take 50 to 100 years. Father will attack me and say, no. Yesterday or today, you played the script of that pastor who was talking when the masses will react. You remember that pastor you played his script that was talking about people earning 1 million, still arguing that people should not get 60,000. Remember that clip? It's on the list of my clip. In fact, when you played it first this morning, I was driving before Rudolph called me. I said, oh my God, did forefather steal my script? But that's not the point. So the man saying, key point he was saying that you're not paying attention. So he said Nigeria is practicing an apartheid. And I told you all the Nigerian problem a while back is worse than apartheid. Apartheid has distinctive features. It's black, it's white, it's visible. The Nigerian problem is not visible. It's a virulent cancer that is deep. You understand? The man said Nigeria is practicing apartheid, but this time it's not apartheid. It's not based on race or color. It is based on economy, class economic apartheid. And that is the truth. And the sad truth that he did not have, that I would have loved to have, was that 90% of Nigerians are still not realized that we are practicing apartheid. They still think Tinubu is the problem. They still think Apabio, the laughing stock, is the problem. Yeah, there are symptoms of the problem, but the problem is way deeper than that. If your problem is apartheid and 90% of your crew don't know it's apartheid, boy, you are in deep shit. So it's not a ship stuck in the canal. It's a ship that is being swallowed off by a sea wave that is going deep and is still digging itself deep to the mantle, way to the core of the earth, for those of us who did science. I don't like to be so philosophical, but that's why I fight here sometimes. The level of discourse. Let me stop there so others can speak.
Thank you. We are going to be rounding up soon. Yeah, you can interject. Rashid man speak, Augustine speak, then we round up and go backstage.
Electricity,
please go ahead. Electricity.
Thank you.
Yeah, please, Electricity, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No, Electricity, righteous man is your turn, but Electricity wants to interject for briefly. So
I won't be long. Righteous man. Alaba, when I use that analogy of a sheep, is profiling solution. I was a seaman. Okay, let me also give you a little bit of background. And we've experienced difficulty out in the ship to an extent that the ship would have sank, and we have to walk on the pump that pumps, the beach pump that pumps water out. What I'm trying to say is, no matter how bad the situation is, no matter how terrible the situation is, there is a solution. That is my point. So
I totally agree with you. I totally agree that there's a solution.
There is a solution. And
I agree with you. I totally agree.
Even what, hold on 1 second, please. Even what Ngozika said also is equally a solution. But is it the best solution?
What we do here is part of the solution, but there's a solution. We just have to connect.
But just accept something. I did not interject to you.
No, it's not in the bad light. I'm supporting you.
Okay. Let's just leave it like that. Papa, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, righteous man, please go ahead. Righteous man, this. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alaba. Thank you very much, Ngozika. Thank you, my sister. Just find a way to let the pain, go off from your mind.
Sorry,
Righteous
Oga
man, is it possible to
forefathers.
speak up? Is
sorry
it
to
possible to
interrupt
speak
you.
up?
Sorry, Mr. Righteous Man. You know, when you used to tell them how things are going, they used to mock themselves. How are things on that end?
Yeah, the mock
Because
my sister is terrible in Lagos right now. It's terrible in Lagos. 3 balls of tomato is 500. Small one, not big one. Three pieces like this. Three.
yeah, it's called
500.
1,000.
Then
Those
big one,
medium-sized ones.
yeah. Then big one is 1,000. In Lagos
See,
here, a pinch of gari is 4,000. As at last week, this week is 4,005. A pinch of gari.
sure.
So, last year when I was saying it in this platform, people would be mocking themselves, not me, and calling themselves name. I just look at
Sorry,
them, I
sorry,
say, these people have,
sorry, righteous man. I want to get your
yes,
background. When you mean a paint of Gary, is it a 20-liter bucket paint?
That custard bucket,
that
that
pinch
custard
bucket,
bucket.
that custard bucket, the custard, yeah. So, Oga forefathers, I, I chatted you up in this platform today concerning the state of that little baby. And I asked you and I told you that my phone crashed. Most of the platform members here that I had their numbers, I lost it. And I told you, forward me please, or make it available on the chat here, Dr. Damage's number, so that I can discuss with him. And you deliberately refuse. And look at that
What?
touching story that Ngozika shared with us here. Almost the same thing with this little baby that is gasping for help. And there is somebody who wants to help. You blocked it. But well, the future will tell. Whatever a man soweth, he will reap. And I know by tomorrow being Sunday, I will be able to get Dr. Rudolph's number and get across to him. But when we have opportunity to do good and do with it not, and whatever that happens, wherever we are, one way or the other, nature has a way of paying back of the things we fail to do. It will happen directly or indirectly. Because the story of Nigerians, what Nigerians are passing through today, that any Nigeria that have good heart in diaspora will hear of it, and then they try to play politics in it. How can somebody of my age, going to 60 years, I have grandchildren, then I will come to this platform to tell lies or to do what? What will it be gain? What will I gain from it? You think maybe I don't understand some mentality of people. Some of you that are in diaspora, when I got to Germany, most of you are in Nigeria. And you don't take the privilege because you're there now. You think every other person in Nigeria is a fool or he doesn't know what he's doing. I narrated the story, the pain a little child under 1 year plus is going through. And somebody is writing rubbish. Some other people are saying, no, don't do. Oh, come on. It's quite unfortunate, honestly. Sometimes I wonder how the literate ones will behave like illiterate people. It's too painful, honestly. Too painful. See, Nigeria has gone out of hand. If the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The pastor asked a question about the foundation. Listen, the 40 foundation that Nigeria is built on was that the colonial masters, the British, the Germans, the Portuguese, those who have been into this country, exploited our resources, used it to develop their place. When finally they were trying to let Nigeria be as a nation, it was not properly done. And that is the problem we are facing today. The Nigerian foundation was not properly handled. And that is why the weak and the criminals are the one leading this country. the Nigerian state is a hijacked state. It has been hijacked, and there is nothing ordinary Nigerians can do to redeem it. If anybody is expecting ordinary Nigerians to do anything to redeem this country, it can't happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not next tomorrow, because we are handicapped. There's nothing we can do. We don't have food to eat. There is no light. You see what I'm using to make sure that I'm part of this program today? You see it? How many Nigerians will be able to risk the little cash in their hand to make sure that their voices are heard? If you go outside to protest, even during the military era, during Abacha time, I was one of those people detained. I spent close to 2 months in detention, where I was protesting concerning the annulment of June 12th election. I have paid the price. My family did not see me for 2 months plus. I was being dragged from one cell to the other, being removed from one place to the other. And tomorrow, when you are trying to share the pain people are going through here, in this platform, people will be talking as if they are gods. It's not about speaking grammar. No matter how fluent you are, just pray that one day you do not meet what is bad in life, and let your people not meet it. The foundation of Nigeria is faulty. It was not built on righteousness. It was not built on equity. It was not built on fair play and justice. It was not built on merriment. It was built on falsehood, deception. It was built on divide and rule system. What the British built as Nigeria is the worst thing that can happen to any country in the world. Because they know if they have laid a proper foundation about concerning this country, today Nigeria will be competing with the first world. Will be outstanding in every aspect of human life, because the caliber of people that make up Nigeria are not easily to be found in any part of the world. So they saw this light and they decided to make sure that this light do not shine. And then those Nigerians who took over from them could not go back to the drawing board to make sure that issue of this country is rectified. They built on it and it collapsed through military intervention. Now, which way forward? Before I drop, because I'm about to go to bed, tomorrow is Sunday. Which way forward? Number one, there is something, the Bible, the people will say, can anything good come out from Nazareth? There is something that is going to come out from Tinubu regime that will surprise everybody. Mark my word. Finally, there will be a referendum in Nigeria, because they're going to tinker with the constitution. And once they tinker the constitution, they will subject it to referendum. And once it's subjected to referendum, you will see that in the future, any part of this country or the country at whole can go out for referendum in deciding what the future of a certain people or Nigeria's soul will be. So that is because from the look of things now, they are sponsoring regionalism. And there is no way you will bring back the issue of regional governance without subjecting it to referendum. And this referendum has been what people have been running away from. So that once you talk about it, they say you want to split Nigeria. It's not about splitting Nigeria. It's about making Nigeria work and work for everybody. Nobody will be happy to see himself or herself suffering. Myself, I don't like suffering. And that's why when I come to the platform, I'm able to echo it out and shout it out that, look, things are not working out well. Never, it's not working out well. We are not living life here. How can a man of my age be using torchlight at this time in order to communicate so that you can see my face? Nigeria at 60-something years, we have nothing to boast of. Not good road, not hospital, not security, not work. Graduate within my household, there is no work, still feeding under me. And you think I should be happy? No, it's not possible. So I just do that submission. Hope is coming, but that hope will be something that nobody saw when it will happen. Thank you.
Righteous man, you are using torchlight to read. Last week, a sitting governor, also used torchlight to read his own address. So
That's Umahi, innit? You have to do that.
Hope was Adema.
Yeah, about what he was saying about me not sharing number. I didn't see your second message. All I knew was that you had Dr. Damage's number, and it's unedifying to come out openly here and start maligning me like that, because I'm not your boy to be doing your bidding. And even then, I didn't see the information. Once I saw that you said your phone crashed, then I sought permission from Dr. Damage, and he granted it. It's not you don't even give me the benefit of it that you start lambasting me like just I'm also moderating. Try to understand. All right. Who I think your Augustine is next, isn't it? Oh, okay. Who everybody
Like
you are
seriously,
free
what do
to
you mean?
interject anytime.
I'm being quiet.
Because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy
just
because the guy is free to interject at any time.
oh God, oh please, my sister, please go ahead.
He's gentleman all around. Please
Father,
go ahead.
thank you. And also, so 2 things. I want to correct 2 things, then I want to say 2 things, then I'll have to go to bed. It's daybreak here. Happy Father's Day, gentlemen. May you reap the fruits of your labors. Because I'm
For good
assuming
fathers, though.
that
For good fathers,
no,
not
Father's Day,
irresponsible
whether
fathers.
you're a good father or not bad father, that is between you and your children. I'm not your child, so I can wish you happy Father's Day. You guys settle with your children. So first thing I wanted to correct was somebody in the comments was alluding the story I shared about the girl. It's very difficult for me to share very personal stories here, but I have to, because you have to give life to some of these things so that you don't say they say they say. You can now say Ngozi shared her experience. So the story, it was not I know I used the abused, and some people are thinking it's sexual abuse. No, it's a worse form. I'm talking starvation, I'm talking physical abuse. It's worse than that, and we couldn't get help to her on time. And for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to live with that on my conscience. Everybody has been telling me it's not my fault, that I did the best I could, but I know I could have done more, but Nigeria did not let me do more. And for the rest of my life, I have to live with that. Then the second one, this is the second time I'm calling out somebody on the comment section. The last time I did that was last year. I want to call out somebody on the comments, Mr. Efosa. He said that Southern youths are using being killed in the farm as an excuse not to go to the farm. Don't go better for you, Efosa. On a normal, no suppose better for you. For that thing where you talk on a normal, it looks supposed better for you. Some of you, I don't know. I keep saying it. I hope that if for some of these opinions you hold, I hope you are paid for it. And I
A
hope you are
person
paid
has
good
mental
money for
problem,
it.
huh?
I hope you are paid good money for it. And if you're not paid, then it is a waste of wickedness. First, I'm from Enugu State. I am from Enugu State. There is hardly a fortnight that goes by that people are not killed in Ozuwani. Go and ask. I have people from there. You come on the internet and you say people's lived experiences are made up. How dare you? How dare you? Even in my own place, I'm not going to translate this. Most of you know that if you are Igbo, name will Ruby, Nwago. There are Agu ndị be anyị anaghịzị aga because of these headers. They are scared. They have not been attacked yet, though, but they are scared because they go there and they see these headers. These are women. These are old women. These are older women. These are older men. And you tell me they are lazy. They are using it as an excuse. People are losing their lives and limbs. And you're saying they are using it as an excuse not to farm. Well, I hope you are paid for this, your wickedness. So I hope you are paid because, by God, it will be a waste of wickedness not to be paid for this kind of God-forsaken opinion you hold. That is by that. And I wanted to say that my earlier suggestion, I wanted to give you small weight about anarchy so that people like taking things out of context. Let me reiterate. I want anarchy. The kind of anarchy I want is that people will stop being comfortable. People are too comfortable. With the way things are going on in Nigeria, you would think you will wake up to everybody saying, kill us or do the right thing. But no, no. Even sometimes when I get into an argument with them on Twitter, if you see the way they look at me, the last time we had the governor on a Twitter space, and before he came on the Twitter space, the person that was going to host it made a post that the governor was going to call on the Twitter space to discuss his 1 year in office. And I asked them, when the governor comes on this Twitter space, shebi people will let us ask him questions. You not go and carry his vuvuzelas and give them mic, and they will now be licking his backside. And the people, dissenters like us, cannot speak. They said, no, you have the opportunity to speak. Governor came on space. Of course, the usual backside licking, the usual ego massaging, and everything was going on. And people that asked him pressing question, people here know my opinion about Enugu state government, not governor, Enugu state government. In the last election, my opinion was my stand was very clear. I said I did not care about any of the candidates, that they are all the same. I said it here and I still stand by it. I said it and I still stand by it. They are all the same. So when I criticize from a place of clear conscience. I have no malice. I keep saying it. I have more stake in Enugu than most people talking about Enugu. I'm a full-blooded Enugu woman. Nobody can take it away from me. Full-blooded, not half. So when I speak for Enugu, I speak as a resident and as a native. I am from Enugu, living in Enugu. It doesn't get any better than that. So he comes on the space. I kept asking for mic because my opinions are loud. When you that is what it means not to have your hand in the cookie jar. You speak without having water in your mouth. You speak without looking. If I say this now, maybe they'll collect my alawi, or my next paycheck will not come. But for some people like Efosa, they can't do that. He came and people like me were not allowed to ask him questions. They say people that wanted to ask questions were plenty, but the ones that were able to ask him questions, that managed to ask him probing questions that people in this comment section are calling excuse not to go to the farm, he answered it. That they are doing everything to make sure that these attacks stops. So for the second time this night, Efosa, suppose better for you. For coming on here to say that people are using excuse of being killed in their farms not to go and farm, suppose better for you. I don't say go better for you, but I say suppose better for you. And if truly people are being killed when they go to the farm, then everything you touch will not work. It will not work. People will mock your pain because that is exactly what you're doing. I'm saying it again because when you allow the lie to thrive for a long time, it begins to sound like the truth. Imagine if we had like 100 Efosas. Imagine if we had like 100 Efosas running amok with this kind of narrative. How will anybody believe what is going on? Nobody will believe it. So this is why I'm still repeating that it suppose better for Efosa. And finally, the comfortability. Let me give the final solution to remove the comfortability and declare anarchy. Most of you have relatives in Nigeria, and by virtue of diaspora remittance, you wield some sort of influence on them. Please, I'm begging you, start using that influence. You might not know how far. This might sound a bit cynic, but I can't think of a better time to use that influence because now there's hunger in the land. So anybody that depends on you for some sort of assistance will have to listen to you. Start telling them some of the things we come here to discuss. Start discussing it with them. We discussing it here does not help them in any way. Start discussing it with them because believe you me, when you start discussing it with them, let me tell you how it will happen. You discuss Akpabio and the inflated budget of the National Assembly with your relative who's, let's say, is in his 40s, yeah, he discusses it with like 4 of his age mates who have Gen Z children that do not care about what is happening in Nigeria. The Gen Z children will go and use it and do content on TikTok. And then their fellow age mates that do not care about Nigeria will be forced to watch it because it is content. And that is how you disseminate information effortlessly. And being that it is coming from you, it is foolproof. It is foolproof. They will believe it. And what better, if this one is not even made up, you have evidence to back it up. That is one way to make people uncomfortable. Once these things we discuss here starts reaching the ears of the people it's supposed to hear, there's something about reinforced repetitiveness. They keep hearing it every single time. There's something that happens to the psyche. Gradually, rebellion will start. And it's not the kind of rebellion. It's the kind of rebellion that somebody will be looking at a gun and be like, what will happen? You shoot me. Did somebody die 2 times? That is the point we need to get to, where people will be able to stand and look at gun and say, you shoot me. After shooting me, what else do you want to do? Will I know what else you are doing? But you will leave having shot me. And I've just told you, gentlemen, how to do that. Till next time where we meet, I'm still trying to let me even give you people something to laugh about. I know some people are going to use it to mock me, but it's none of my business. So about a month plus ago, I lost my phone, and then in the middle of the shock of what happened, they pointed me to a police officer to go and report what happened. And I tell this officer, officer, I was crying because like half of my work is on the phone. Currently, I'm doing just know that half of what I do for a living is done on that phone. So imagine having lost it. I go and meet this officer, and he says to me, for you to know how bad things are in Nigeria, the officer says to me, hey, yeah, and phone is very expensive now, no, and you lost your phone. That's very sad. You know what will happen? This thing happened in the mall. That you know what will happen? I'm the IPO they used to call them at waiting that is in charge of that station there. He mentioned his name. My name is Susu person. Take my number. I say, officer, how will I collect your number now? They keep my phone. He say, that's true. That's true. Oh yeah, look for paper. Let me write my number for you. My friend that was with me, she just, I don't know where she collected carton from and brought out pen from. We collected officer number. And this is the interesting part that I wanted to share with you people. Officer now said, tomorrow, he wrote his number. When you come to the station tomorrow, just tell them you're looking for officer so person. They will bring you to me. I'm the one in charge. Sorry. This economy, you lost your phone. But get ready to pay. You will pay so that will help you and track it. I said, He said, you will pay so that will help you and track the phone. To go and be buying phone in this economy. I just lost my phone. You are telling me phone is expensive. And you're telling me I should come to the station and pay so that you will track it for me. Gentlemen, that is Nigeria for you. I'm signing out. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming over.
Something you said about when you said the only thing you can do is shoot me and what else can happen. I think the essential ingredient is the lack of fear of death and clarity. And when people get to that point, they can transform, they can do anything. Most of the nations that are built by people like that. You have to get to that point. We never did. Even through our independence, we never did get to that point. Okay, so Augustine is the only one that hasn't spoken. So he will speak, then we'll close out and go backstage and do our gathering backstage as normal. And so Augustine, what do you thank you for joining us. You joined late.
Well,
Tomorrow is going to be interesting. We're going to be discussing more, more intellectual kind of topic like Bible school or something. I do enjoy those actually. I'm beginning to enjoy those quite a lot. So it will be interesting for us to gather for that. But what do you think about what you've had today so far?
man, it has been an interesting day, but I just want to begin with realizing why people are against religion. Because within the course of this week, I have discovered a bigot. That's where I want to begin. I have discovered one bigot, and this bigot is Doyin Okube. He's a bigot in the sense that he started with religion. He was quoting Bible, and when he went into politics, he's a bigot because he told us that Tinubu is better than Obi, and he went and supported Obi just because of tribe. What a shameful attitude is that? Any politician doing that is a fool. If you listen to from my day, the first day I came to this platform, I said, if you bring a cousin of mine who is stupid, I would never support him. I will support somebody who is from anywhere that is better. That for you to say because it is the turn of Igbos, you support somebody whom you know that is not as fit as your brother. That is stupidity. And go back to the platform, go to Twitter and see the mess that man is making. He has moved it now to the people, 80% of people criticizing him are Igbos. Why would a man in that age be behaving like that? That's one thing I want to say. The second point I want to make here is when we talk about leadership, for those of us living in the Western world, don't just go to work and go home. Study your environment. On Wednesday, I went to watch Brazil United States match in Orlando. 60,000, 16 people were at the stadium, paying $100 to $200, paying $70 for a car space. Imagine the money these guys ripped off from people. And all of us were happy spending this money. And look at leadership. You see, everything was well organized. If you come into the stadium, you will feel at home. Because people took time, structured it, and came up with something. Why am I saying this? When I was talking about Omahe, that Omahe is not a leader. People were like, go to Abakaleke, he has built everything. Look at airport, he spent 36 billion to build. 3 years down the line, no plane has dropped there. Look at that money being wasted. And nobody is saying anything about it. Now he has gone to coastal land. You've not maintained a dry land. You want to maintain coastal land that one flood will come and wash it away. So when people say this, they say that you don't like progress. You are just complaining. Now, my last point, forefather, you were saying something about cost of living. I live in Florida. I was in Texas. Florida, you buy fuel, you buy gas, $3 plus. In Texas, you buy $2 plus. So I was discussing with my brother, oh, gas is cheap here. He said, this is oil state. They produce oil. But I have never bought gas in the United States and feel sad of buying gas. But somebody in Nigeria who is level 14 officer, civil servant, will buy gas and be crying. So that is the difference. The difference is that it's someone that cleans your office in the Western world is comfortable. But a palm sec who is not stealing cannot sustain himself. Now, if you move this 62,000 as minimum wage, do you know that anybody being paid 62,000, both civil and private, will not pay tax? Because you are earning below minimum wage. you will not pay tax. But at the end of the year, government will give you money because you didn't meet the normal amount you're supposed to meet. Does that happen in Nigeria?
No.
Now, if you say people earning 61,000 down not to pay tax, how many people will pay tax in Nigeria?
Okay. You see the point about cost of living. They didn't say based on your salary. It's based on how much it costs to buy things to live, to survive in that country.
Which year did that come on?
2022 year is what they use, if I'm not mistaken. So they use the amount it costs to buy things that you need to survive. That's what they call cost of living. They will check, okay, how much does it cost to survive in Nigeria? How much does it cost to survive in UK?
So
stuff like that.
Any calculation of cost of living from that point is a myopic way of saying things. The way of calculating cost of living is how much you earn and how much you spend on your living. In the United States, let me come. In the United States, where I live, people that don't, there's what we call low-income houses. They are low-income houses doesn't mean that they are less quality houses. No, but they are houses that governments are subsidizing for people that don't have good job. So where you're paying $1,800 a month, somebody is paying $150. And that person pays $150. Government gives him $600 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's a form of relative income, isn't it? Because if you look at many of us having iPhone,
no, so look at how that calculation is. Look at how they did it. Gas in America is $3 in Florida. And when we talk about this gas, the quality of gas in Nigeria are not the same. So gas in Nigeria in Florida is $3.39. So they will calculate it. It's 4 liters. So they divide it direct with Nigeria and tell you, oh, it is expensive in America than in Nigeria.
Yes, they will say how much does it cost to buy the same things that people buy in America. How much does it cost? Like an example, like that gas you talk about in Nigeria is cheaper. The housing, is it more expensive in America than in Nigeria? No, it's cheaper in Nigeria. It's the same blocks so that you are building with, or maybe slightly different, but house is house, and it's more expensive. It's cheaper in Nigeria. So they put all those things together.
So that is the problem. See why it's not cheaper. The house in Nigeria, most of them might have mold. Most of them don't have water. Most of them don't have good toilet. The house in the United States, I'm not going to clean my sock away. The moment I'm flushing it, it's going to the city. The city is taking care of it. The city pipe gas to my house. I'm not buying gas. I'm getting gas at 2 a.m. I on my gas, I will get gas.
But that is a minimal cost to the actual house. The land and the building of the property is where most of the cost of housing goes. And if in Nigeria you have a whole building, good quality in Abuja, and you compare that with good quality housing in New York or Texas, anyway, the Texas one is about 10 times more.
So look at the challenge.
Sorry.
Sorry, just a moment. I'll just finish this line. Then I'll finish this line. You going? The house where my colleague was living got burnt. Insurance came and built a replica of the same house. If your house in Ikoyi gets burnt, who will take care of it?
You know they do have some insurance in Nigeria.
Where?
That's another conversation.
That is a different goalpost. You see how he's moving the goalpost.
Okay.
I'm not moving
because you know why I wanted to comment.
Nigeria is cheaper to live in.
You are discussing now was actually what brought me into this discussion today. I didn't want to come in. Because forefather is always comparing oranges and apples.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Okay. Look, let's just like Augustine was talking about. Anytime you put on your hot water tap, it gives you that hot water. Anytime your electricity is running, whether it is cold or hot, your room is warm or the temperature is maintained. Now, you go outside, you don't see potholes, and they don't have any time the governors are coming to commission them. The roads are constantly being maintained. The street lights are constantly being. The other day I was telling a friend of mine, do you know that the rails they put by the roadside can actually at a 60 kilometer, 80 kilometer, that rail can hold your car from falling off. So it's not just putting it by the side. They're actually making sure it guards you from falling off into the ditch.
But what are that going to do with cost of
I'm
living?
coming. Those are the different standards of things that are being put here. And so when we juxtapose it with Nigeria, and I'm going there so that you know the different cost of living. You do not have 24 hours electricity, yet you pay for 1 month of light. You do not have constant water, yet you pay for 1 month of constant water. You do not have good roads, yet you pay tax on roads. You do not have government providing you any amenities, yet you pay for it. So how then do you take it? Again, the cost of the value of the two currency are not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I keep saying it. I don't know how many times I can repeat it. It's like saying cost to buy 1 bottle of water in Nigeria and cost to buy 1 bottle of water in this thing. That's what they are comparing. They don't care about
What is
currency. They don't care about
to
anything.
Niger? To
So that
Niger, what is
comparison,
their earning
that comparison
capacity?
should,
What
yes,
is
that
the
comparison
salary
should
they
even
pay
be there.
them?
Pardon?
What is the salary? What is the what
It's
is the
not about
salary?
salary. They don't care about that. They are saying how much does it cost
Okay.
this side
Okay, can I
to
give
buy this thing? How much does it cost this
can I
other side to buy the same thing?
can I give you a better perspective? You guys are just misunderstanding what the figure. Let me not say what Fafada is saying, but Fafada is just
Quoting a figure.
explaining. No, he's just explaining the statistics that he showed earlier. But you guys are reading another interpretation to it. That statistics is just telling you, like Fafada said now, what does it cost to live in this place, not what you are making. Do you understand? So that is the reason why some places, some developed countries, some places, when they retire, they move to a different country to go and live. It doesn't mean that they would have earned much money when they are living in that country, working in their working life, but because it costs them less to maintain their life. You understand? When they live in that country, you understand what I'm trying to say? So it does not necessarily mean that Nigerians are earning more money when they say the cost of living is lesser in Nigeria. If you understand, I don't know if I'm making points.
So I'm seeing where you're going. I'm trying to understand it, but the conversation doesn't come where Father brings it. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I think it's the same thing Father is saying. The data he shared with us showing that the cost of living in Nigeria is way. You could also look at it at the other way around, maybe because Nigerians are poor. So
That
So
data,
you are
that
coming.
statistics, that statistic is not telling you the
It's not telling us.
true nature on the ground. It's not.
No, it's just
It's
telling
not a
you.
reflection.
Listen,
That data is not a reflection of what Nigerians are passing through.
Let me explain it this way again. Let's say
As
there's a basket.
2022, as of 2022, Father is quoting. That might be correct.
Let's say there's a basket, and inside this basket is the food you eat in a month. How much you pay for your rent, how much it costs you on energy, how much it costs you to go to hospital. You understand? How much is it? Maybe it's like 80,000 or 100,000 naira. You understand? So the people that prepare the statistics just compare the same thing. Okay, if you're in Brazil, what does it cost you to do? If you're in America, in this particular city in America, what does it cost you? You understand? So they just check it using a common denominator. It does not
That is a hope analysis. When you want to compare that with what is going on in Nigeria, it's a hope analysis. Honestly speaking,
they are not telling you that Nigerians they also say that Nigeria is poor.
If
They
not
don't understand. They still think that they are saying that Nigeria is poor.
If I say this program, America versus to Niger,
No,
America versus to Niger in London. Only
You are
comparing. Is not saying that Nigerians are living well.
Now you see what I'm saying. So you get my point. That Father is bringing it from the point that Nigerians are living well. That is how I heard
No. That's not what I'm saying.
He never said that. He never said that now.
No, I said that's what I heard when I heard him making that argument. Because the other people that were from the other side were telling you that over here we spend this money and we are more comfortable than those back home spending cheap money.
Okay, let me ask
that
you.
was the argument that I heard that time. That was why I picked it up.
Let me ask you, Augustine.
Yes.
If you retire today in America and you have like $50,000 as raw savings, you have cash. Forget about the security problem in Nigeria. Don't you think you're going to have a better living standard if you come to Nigeria to live in your village, for instance?
So if you calculate it well, I might not. Let me tell you why. I will give you an analysis. Like where I live, I know what you're saying. People calculate that everything is available here, but there are certain taxes that this city don't charge. Now, because of those taxes, like people move to Mexico when they retire in America. People move to lower cities that don't pay tax.
Exactly.
But they have everything provided.
And things are cheaper in those cities with their own currency.
Yes. Things are cheaper there because they don't pay city tax.
Not only tax, it's also the fact that things are cheaper.
No, it affects. That is the only
housing
difference.
is cheaper. You see, it doesn't want to admit that housing is cheaper in Mexico. Housing is cheaper in Mexico. You know
housing
that.
is cheaper in Nigeria too.
Exactly. That's what we are saying.
Housing as a building is cheaper in Nigeria, but to maintain your house in Nigeria. So if you are asking me this question 2 years ago, I would have moved to Nigeria because you will buy fuel at what rate? Buy gas. But now, if you calculate that,
even at that,
no. Run a diesel for 1 week.
Cheaper.
Run a diesel for 1 week.
In the UK.
So, and remember that. So if not now, remember, because you pay this money, the peace of mind you have that every week you spend $200.
If it was better, why is Guinness going away? Why are all the foreign nationals leaving the country? If it was better, why are they relocating to other places? I bet let's move on to something Nigerian.
There is a little conversation.
It's not easier to make the money in Nigeria.
And it's easier to make the money in America, Abi. It's easier to make money in America. Is that easy?
It's easier to make a minimum amount in America than Nigeria.
Listen, you guys, all of us in America know how it goes. Let's look at what's going on the main street. We are all foreigners. We work hard every day to make the money. But some people doesn't have opportunity. They don't see. For that one, the portal, our passion, our portal way for this road where they pass now. Assuming he said, Gaji said, there's no porthole. There's no porthole. If I put water here, I think go through away. So let's not.
Okay.
What do you say? See, let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Now, all of us there here. See, the Paco, all the guys in apply will they build them. That's why they can carry everything. They go remain.
Even at
so
that,
make we just tell the truth. Even at that, they are strong. Look, my argument is hold of us. Do not just hold me an apology. I was listening to it today. He looked me finish. He looked at he say he thought he looked me finish. Me no go krikri. Look at he say nature. No, nature no the way.
Don't start now.
You know say me they come for you. He say even if they come, we go talk about. If they don't come, I'll go back to that topic. He must apologize to. I will bring that back because the thing offend me now. If I don't take it from my mind, I don't go rest. I don't go rest now.
So let me ask you based on the same house.
Yeah, I know you.
How much is it going to cost you to build the same house in the US? How much is
that's a smart one.
Which house? You work in Nigeria. If I have to build the kind of house, listen, if I have to build the kind of house I have in Nigeria, built in US, you know going to cost me less than $1 million to build it.
So what are we talking about? So if we
you understand my point? If I'm doing the same house with brick, with a brick I have in Nigeria, do the same thing here. You don't talking about $1 million to build it.
So what are we saying? We are saying the same thing because cost is cheap. The cost of living is lesser in Nigeria. That's why you're able to do it.
Exactly.
Because I'm in America able to do it. And some people in Nigeria are going to discuss a house because kind of thing they are doing. No average man would build such a house ordinary.
I think we're saying the same thing. We are just misunderstanding.
It's like the moment you say that, they are assuming that you are saying that Nigeria is better off. But the only area what makes Nigeria better off.
So Father, that's the point. The moment you bring that argument, the moment you bring that argument, people will be hearing that you're saying that Nigeria is better off.
No, it's not. They are not.
No, we are not. We all know that. All of us let's not tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. If the government are good, all of us will try to Nigeria to go and live in better off. We all know that. If our government are good, in terms of everything, we all know that now. If you can't tell the lies, if the governments are good, none of us will be here struggling. Monday to Saturday going to work.
If Nigeria has security, Nigeria is a good place to earn a living. I will be in Nigeria right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will be in Nigeria now.
If the living standard is as good as you are portraying it, it's low all over the world. The Nigerian living standard. What makes you people not to relocate to Nigeria and face the same reality?
Okay. No, let me tell you the problem. Let me tell you the problem, Nigeria. Let me tell you the problem, Nigeria. That if I can give me the light, I will pay. In Nigeria, that's the problem. But I will pay for the light, I will not get the light. That's the scariest part of it. Give me the water, I will pay. You pay for the water, you're not going to get the water. That's the problem. All right? Not paying it is the problem, but can I have it when I pay for it? You can't get it when you pay for it. Here, if I pay for my water, I'll get my water. Get my light, I get my light. In short, my internet cut off. My wife called them. You know they pay.
Also, you're questioning how will you be paying for water in Nigeria and be paying for water in America?
No, I pay for water. For water, I go pay for my water. I pay for my water. I pay for that one. I can pay for my water. This one enter. I save this one. This one enter. I accept that. But what I mean that if I pay for water here, I go get my water. If you don't give me the water, all right. In short, I go call them that month. I know they'll give me discount for that month. I pay for internet. Like Nigeria, I pay for internet for 1 month. After 2 weeks, you can get internet again. Here, even though any mistake, I lost. Even we lost power like 5 days. All right. I got to say, I supposed to have internet for 2 months. I pay for it. They find that I was like, it's not a disaster. They give me discounts instantly. That's how it works. So that's the problem with you.
Is your car moving?
No. I park. I know the rule now. I know the brake rule.
Thank you.
Nigeria.
I know the rule. I park.
How will you park and still have the seat belt?
Why will I park? Because I'm driving. That show you that I'm driving. I'm wearing my seat belt up. But we'll say it in this program. Always have seat belt on. You show that I have my seat belt on.
But do you know the good thing about having a low cost of living? If Nigerian government was good, it would have been the most attractive place to attract businesses to come and invest. Because if you have cheap labor, cheap cost of cost of living, businesses can move in and invest and grow there because the output will be cheaper than most places.
So, Father, this.
Let me say something. In America, you make much money. That's some house, good houses. You can pay for it. They will not like to live there. You make lesser money. They will allow you to live in better houses that make a good money. You see some houses, someone that don't make good money will leave. You that make good money cannot live there. That's how they take care of their citizens. Somebody that don't have good money will live a better house. You that make good money will go and live something more cheaper, more low quality of everything, but very high. And someone that don't make good money will live in a very good apartment, good. So that's how it is. All right? So we all of you know how it is. So you can't compare. Yes. Don't compare orange and the apple for Canada. But Tunaja, you still hold me apology. My
apology for stating the fact the wrong way. I hope you're happy now. Also, I hope you're happy now.
That can never be a fact that was stated in the right way. Never.
He said that he would have served as an incentive.
Okay, he has to bring 2 kola nuts, and 2 alligator pepper, and 1 loaf.
Righteous man.
I just want to. If you permit me, let me just say this, then I go.
And you're still doing this traditional stuff.
Tunaja,
So
if
yeah,
you if you
Me over
permit me, let me
5 years.
just make this
Hey!
submission, then I
Now
go.
that's the Igbo
It's late here.
final. More Okrikiri. For 5 years,
uh,
okay.
You see,
Wimbo wanted to make a submission, but before that, please, I think if not now, I wanted to say something about my pronouncement about cost of
Yes.
living.
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I
okay.
said that the argument you made that because the cost of living in Nigeria is low from that statistics, is supposed to serve an incentive for companies to come here and invest, right?
Yes.
It does not necessarily hold water
How?
because the position of Nigeria in that your statistics is actually almost to the bottom. And what does it show? It shows you that there is no much economic activity in the country.
Mm.
So, for instance, now the one you shared about the cities first, which has California being almost at the top, and some other cities. So if you look at America here, those states or cities that have the lowest cost of living, they are not usually better economically. They don't usually attract much economic investment activities. People seem to gravitate towards those cities that have higher standard of living because they make more money there, or those that are kind of average.
Mm. I
Sorry,
think that argument is
what I
like what I'm
understand,
talking about is like China. The way
international. Yeah, what
China.
I'm talking about, international interest.
Mm.
It would have
Yeah.
attracted international interest to come and use
Yeah.
the cheap labor.
Yeah. To
Yeah,
manufacture.
but it's more than cost of living being low. The driver of that one is a different economic indices that drive that one, not
Yeah,
necessarily the
I
cost of
think the
living.
reason why ours is low is because a badly run business environment,
Exactly, exactly.
rule of law, and corruption. All those things is discouraging people from coming into the country to come
So
and
you
invest.
you just call it by name, accountability. Lack of accountability.
Yeah, that is insecurity is a big one
It's
because
just
if people don't feel
intangible assets.
the
Yeah,
country has a future, they don't want to be there.
yeah.
People want to invest in somewhere they have peace of mind.
So
P2B
you
said
call
it
it
all.
you know why I call it accountability? Because even when you talk about the insecurity, the military people, because of their involvement in politics, they are not accountable to the security. So they themselves are part of the insecurity. It's not like the governor or the president is the one stopping the military or the police to be responsible. But because all of them, imagine when the military people are involved in bunkering, when they are involved in so many other atrocities in the country.
Okay, okay,
Mm.
Father. Okay, can you check the law and the other indices?
Law and order
No, he
indices.
won't go there. He won't go
Why,
there.
why would I go there now? Why would I go there? You think I'm shy of the truth? The truth is important now. Law and order. That's interesting. In the do they have in index?
I
Index.
think
I
they
think
have
they'll call it
index for law
index.
and the other. Yeah.
While you
Wow.
are checking, let me just make my final submission.
Yes, please.
The only thing that I would like to say here, I listened to Ngozi while she was talking. Then I feel for Nigerian people. You see, the Igbo people had a proverb. They said Okpana ntiburu Okpana onwuburu ntiburu ya. The grasshopper that dies, it is the ear or problem of hearing that kills it. Most often, we've been talking about all these things, but most Nigerians feel that Nigeria is going to be better. They tell you to hope for a new Nigeria. Continue to hope for a new Nigeria. I was in the military in 1999, still serving when democracy returned. When General Abu Salami handed over the scepter of authority and leadership to Obasanjo. From 1999 till now, I think it's about, if my arithmetic is right, it's about 23 years. A 23 or 24 years old person is no longer a child. That person is an adult. In some countries, that person should be a graduate, a first degree holder, or even working. But before this time, these same Nigerians, this same elitist group were telling you, oh, it's a nascent democracy, nascent democracy, nascent democracy. Look at where it has brought you people to. Look at the conditions Nigerians are facing. Look at the influx of Nigerians into countries that they don't even supposed to go to, especially within Africa. Nigeria should be the heaven for other African countries to come in there and seek for greener pasture because you are rich. But the wealth of Nigeria is, circulated among few people. And it's as if Nigerians have been captured. As if it be juju, just like in the words of Asari Dokubo. No be juju be that. They have captured Nigeria in such a manner that even you don't even have the vim to come out and challenge the people you claim you voted into power. What does that tell you?
Forefather, sorry, they actually call it Law and Order Index. Rule of
Yeah,
law,
I'm
rule of
looking
law
at
index. Rule of law
okay.
index.
I thought I was looking at crime
Okay.
index. Okay.
Okay. So now to Niger, what these people have succeeded in doing is to groom their words. They have groomed their words and they are surreptitiously planting them in positions of authority. Some of their children are judges, appointed judges today. Some are politicians. They are coming to replicate what their fathers and what their parents have done. How do you going to get out of it if you don't destroy that system that is giving them such powers? I support Ngozika, solution. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu spoke about all these things. Hate him or like him, he spoke about them. He started with restructuring. They said no. On the street of London, these people said no, they will not. And when it got bad, he said, okay, let my people go. The same thing Ojukwu came to my own country here in Eburi to agree upon regionalization, regional system of government, that the rest of Nigerians said, no, they will not agree to. Is it not the same thing now that they are trying to bring in? Is it not the same thing? That thing that caused war, that made the Biafran to lose over 4 or 5 million people. Is it not the same thing that they are bringing now? Penny wise, pound foolish. That is what Nigeria is undergoing, is going through. A time will come. Nobody will tell them. Nobody will tell them. When the python has finally crawled into your bedrooms in Nigeria, then you will wake up. You will rise up to fight for what belongs to you. And that time it will be too late. And I just pray that it will not affect the innocent people or the weak, especially women and children. Because what Nigeria has created upon itself is going to consume a lot of people. And before that time, instead of you, the elderlies that are here today, to continue to hope for a new Nigeria, please channel the energy to destroy that country that has made these people so powerful. Destroy it. Let everybody go and answer their father's name. Because answering the diversity of Nigeria has not yielded any positive result to the people that are within that entity. Thank you so much. And may God bless you.
Thank you. Let me see. Thank you very much for your submission. Let me see if I can share this rule of law index. Let's see if I can zoom in. I hope I can see better. Yeah, I think it's by this thing. So let's say, well, how does this even work? This in absolute change, relative change. Okay, this is the index, isn't it? Okay, Denmark is at the top. Let's go from the bottom down, all the losers. I'm surprised Nigeria is not on the top of the page there. Hey, Nigeria has survived the top of the page. Let's go the next page. Let's see what's happening down there. It's not going to be far.
Nigeria is about 120 or so.
It's not going to be far on this list, I'm sure. It's going to pop up soon. Wow, Nigeria is better ruled than Zimbabwe. How did that happen? That cannot be possible. But there are a lot of African countries there. You notice that?
Surprisingly, here America is even at 14 or so.
Look at Nigeria here. Nigeria is better governed than China. Are you serious? That can't be right. This is a crap. This is a crap table.
When was this indices? When was it done? Now?
2013. 2013.
Check what I sent to you. 2023.
Okay, let me get the link. Yeah, let me get the link. Yeah, because I'm not sure I'm using a proper one. Yeah, I was on this link earlier, but I just didn't make heads or tail of what they were saying. It's opening. Okay, doing Shakara. All right. Okay, so where do I see it? Through here?
Go down. You're seeing it from here now.
Is this rule of law? Because they are talking about countries searched by overall score. Okay, by overall score. Okay, Denmark is at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wish we can reverse the order so that we will see how far Nigeria is from the bottom.
Go down about 120 or so.
120. 120? 120. Okay, amongst 140. That's quite bad.
The interesting thing is that US didn't even make up to the first 20. US is about 26.
Oh yeah, US is not exactly a clean country now. Look at that country with 47,000 people dying from gun violence. It cannot be that clean. So Nigeria is at the bottom. Okay, let's see the countries we are better than: Mali, Congo, Zimbabwe, Gabon, Uganda, Iran. That is ridiculous. Bangladesh. This is rigged, man. Bangladesh, Mozambique, Ethiopia, Pakistan, Bolivia, Sudan, Cameroon.
I think it's right. I think it's fair. It's fair.
Egypt. Oh, come on, man. I think this stuff is rigged. It's quite rigged. To an extent, there's a bit of rigging going on.
I don't think so. They can't rig it in favor of Nigeria.
Nigeria is better governed than Egypt. Seriously. Although Egypt is a military regime, let's face it, it wins 90% of the vote. So, yeah, from that point of view, you can say Nigeria has some merit. But, man, come on. Saying that Nigeria is better governed than even Zimbabwe. Okay, Zimbabwe has some issues with their currency, but I wouldn't say they are badly governed. Bangladesh, Iran, especially Iran is the biggest. Like, it's so clear that they are mistaken there.
No,
Iran generates 70 gigawatts of power. 70 gigawatts.
This is rule of law.
Okay, forefather, what topic?
And they are well governed.
This is rule of law.
Can we go back to our original topic?
There's no rule of law in Iran.
Yeah, there is rule of law. No. They won't have what they have if they don't have rule of law.
No.
They are more advanced than Nigeria, by far. More advanced. So,
can we just circle back to where we were supposed to be discussing?
Yeah.
No, we are supposed. I will let Obey speak. Then we go backstage. Welcome, Obey. I'm not sure I've seen you here before.
Yeah.
Thank you. Why we came to this thing is because we are trying to use the cost of living to justify the fact that those countries that have low cost of living should necessarily be an incentive for investment. Then
it was that discussion that actually attracted me.
I was trying to explain that indices like this actually drives investment more than
you are correct.
the other one.
It drives them.
So if you look at these indices now, you see that those countries at the top actually attract better investment.
Yes, because of stability now. Yeah, that's true. Welcome, Obe.
Thank you. Well, I'm a first timer. I think Dr. Damages will when they hear my name, you will understand because I'm on his chart and I get his mail every day. Obey is an acronym. My name is actually Osazuwa Brown Egwavon. That's my name.
Egwavon. Yes. Is that an Edo name?
That's a Benin name, yes.
Yeah, welcome.
You know Austin Egwavon, yeah.
You don't recognize them. Now your people be that too.
Coach. I'm Austin Egwavon, the coach, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm in the United States. I'm in New
Okay.
York. And,
Okay, you're welcome. Your brother is our host.
Papa and I have not revealed. Papa and I have not revealed where he's from. Everybody knows
You
this.
you don't need to ask the question. He's your brother, I'm telling you.
It's correct. It's obvious.
I've done a research on him.
Oh wow, nice one, nice
I did
one.
extensive research on him.
He's not done any
Yes.
research.
KJ and Co. I actually appreciate you guys. I've been trying to join. School weekend is hell for me. Actually, at the job now, I just sneak into one of those private rooms to just see how I do this because of the discussion I had. You know, I'm a nurse in the New York. I've been to Nigeria twice this year, and it's obvious that when we begin to do some comparison about the standard of life, like KJ said, comparing apple with orange. Actually, I can't figure it out how those two relate, anyways, because like he was saying, when you drive out to buy gas, as a banker I was in Nigeria, I earn over $500,000 every month then before I joined the United States. You could imagine life was good then. You don't even think to buy gas and all that. You run ahead, you know, it was good. You can keep 2, 3 cars with full tanks and you're running. But in the United States, no matter even if it's $4 and change for gas that you buy here, you don't feel it from your income at all. You still you still could run with the full tank and you're okay. But if you're comparing the way we live here and the way we live there, comparing the cost of a house here, the cost of houses in Nigeria, we will just be making a big mistake. Somebody will be asking me, how much do you buy gas in America? I told him I buy gas $4 and change because I drive an SUV and it takes the highest grade of gas. You know, I said, but you guys there, how much you buy gas? You begin to make mathematics and times liter by whatever you buy from. No, how much does it cost you to make a dollar here? If you are going home with $10,000 every month, for example, what is a gas of $50 to you? That's change. You understand? So by the time we begin to make comparison of the facial value of what we see over here and what happens back there, we will just be making two different analogy, and it does not marry at all to each other. You know, if in America you go shop with $200, you could see how many bags you're going to carry from the shopping mall. If you're in Nigeria and you are going to shop with another 100, 200,000 naira, you can't reconcile it because the $100 is how much you can make in an hour. In an hour, how much you can make in an hour or 2 hours?
They are using
You
dollars
understand?
uniformly. They are not saying convert it to naira. If you take that
No,
same $200,
that is the mentality of this guy. They just use calculator to price for you as in that. It doesn't work like that for us because we don't make the money that same way you guys, think about. Let me, for example, now I make $7,000 in a month. You know, I can save $5,000 conveniently.
Exactly. But if you make that same 7,000 in Nigeria, you might even be able to save more.
7,000 what? Dollar or naira?
$7,000.
In Nigeria.
How can you make $7,000 in Nigeria now? How can you make that money? Are you a thief?
Okay, hold on. That's the point I'm making, and that is the matrix they are using to measure. In other words, what you are getting in Nigeria, see, that is the matrix they are using to measure it. This the dollars. They are not saying
it's only a thief that can make $7,000 in a month over there.
Exactly, but if you earn $7,000 in Nigeria, would that money not go further? That's what I'm trying to do.
But what is the possibility of a nurse like me making that money in Nigeria? That's what I'm telling you. This is my profession. This is my profession. I am a nurse. I can go home with 7K every month. If I'm a nurse in Nigeria, I can go home with the best they can do with 100,000, 150,000. You're talking about $200, $100. You are comparing with $7,000. Well, the economy does not relate to you.
That is not what they are doing. They are using dollars. If you the question still remains: if you have $7,000 in Nigeria, would it not go further than $7,000?
If you have on which condition as your income or
as your income? As your income in Nigeria.
Who makes $7,000 in Nigeria?
No, even if it's not real, that money? I get your point. Even if it's not real, I'm just saying, what if you did? What happens? Would the $7,000 not go further in Nigeria if you make $7,000 a month?
If you make $7,000 in Nigeria Of course, you can build a house almost every other day.
$7,000 in Nigeria is over 12 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who makes that a salary?
That is what they are trying to reveal to you. That you are saying you can build house every year, but in America you can't do that every year.
I'm just saying. I'm not. That's not the fact anyway. That's just to exaggerate. What I mean is a lot of money.
Exaggerate.
In
It's not
back
a
home.
12 million times 12 is 120 million. So you can build
Correct.
Exactly.
Every year. Correct.
Yeah, you can build a house. I know
Yeah.
somewhere that build a house for 5 million.
So if you are putting those comparisons together, it will look as if we are in a different situation. We're in a different economy. We have different. In fact, can a Nigerian person go and pay for light? I pay my light bill like $400. Can somebody actually pay that in Nigeria?
And now,
I will not complain. Those are the
You
issues.
See, now you are revealing something now. You see what you have revealed? Nigeria is like we live in a hole. When I went into Nigeria, it's like we live in a sub-economy. The reason why I say that is that most of the equipment that these people use to manufacture all these services like power supply, electronics, phone services, they buy it from the same world that people in America buy it from, that people in Japan buy it from. They don't buy it any special price. So you can see now that Nigeria is living in a situation whereby our cost of living is so low compared to what is out there. So it's like we are in a hole and we need to dig ourselves out of there. That is what it is revealing.
Until they will stop announcing the result of election at 4 a.m. and they will stop switching up the beavers. We will still be at this cycle, rigmaroling, as in taking the wrong leadership and all that. Could you imagine that we all work towards this change that we're talking about? At the end of the day, we saw what happened in the election. Everybody just moved on. When I got there, I had to stop living in the house. I went to the hotel because if you live in the house to run your diesel, it's cheaper than actually taking a room in the hotel and everything is okay. You built a house back home, you can't even sleep in the house. It's that bad. To the extent that I have to sell to get away my properties, get rid of them, and come here and buy another house. Because they're not ready for nothing. It's just a rigged system that you go there. And in fact, I was in Lekki. I went to buy food. The food they gave me, I have paid 10,000. But I was not even satisfied. And I said, how much guys make here that can even take their children out for a weekend? To take 3 children out for a weekend, family of 5. That means you spend like 50K for an outing. How much do you earn? And the system is so bad that everybody is complaining. Even your brother that is an assistant director in an establishment is complaining. They can't even help themselves. A banker now that I left back home who will earning more than me. Today, with $1 million you earn at the end of the month, you are still very poor. You can't even give yourself that amount of life that you had before now. So the system is that rotten, is that bad. The leadership made some colossal error. That is exactly what is being suffered right now because decisions were made so hastily and president just talk anyhow. He just wake up in the morning and just announce things and just talk without assembling a team together, without even looking at the files. He just make announcements.
Let me ask you now, is there anything that the Nigerian government can do, or is there any space Nigeria can get to that you'll be like, you know what, I'm going to sell these properties in America and go back to Nigeria and buy the properties back that I used to have in Nigeria?
My brother, I have a self-contained. My tenant pay me $2,000+ every month. You want me to sell?
No, I'm saying, what would you see in Nigeria that will make you do that? Is it that when they start paying $7,000 per month, or
in Nigeria,
what was your conditions?
In Nigeria will be after my thought. As in, when they are ready, we will go back there to go and invest. But right now, I think it's not just a heaven to be; it's just a law.
But what is the condition now? What are you going
to
see that is going to make you
leadership rights, getting the right leadership on ground. That is the condition. If the right leadership is there, let me tell you.
What is the right leadership?
The right person that could pilot the affairs of the country. That's it. The right person.
It doesn't tell me anything. What are they going to be doing? What would you see that will make you think, okay, not just when you say the right leadership, is what they are doing, isn't it? What is it they are doing
what they are
that
doing.
is going to make you think that is good?
Okay, like taking priorities, putting priorities in place. Not buying SUV, not investing in a buying yacht or building a 20 billion house for a vice president, until they start to channel growth into investment, into attracting people to come into the country. Everybody is living, and you are there, you have to spending the money on trivial things. But I mean, but that's why Obi was an idea for everybody because he sold the right point to Nigeria. That was what happened to Obi. He sold the right point. The point is that our priority are not there at all. We are not ready for a change. Until we start setting up those things, number one, let's face that giving powers again to the states. We need to start from there. When that happens, the leadership must be focused on the right direction of
Okay.
what? Changing things, giving
So,
priorities to
so,
growth.
so if you
Mr.
see
Obi,
that,
hold,
you
hold.
you
Mr. Obi,
consider coming back
just
here.
to buttress what you have
Of
said.
course, of
They've
course.
already, they've
Good,
already, they're
good to
already
know.
getting ready now to buy two more jets for the presidency.
You could imagine that.
And one for the
KJ,
president.
KJ, stop driving people from Nigeria.
You see, these are the things we're talking about in a
KJ,
nation
But
where things are
KJ,
not working.
don't you
yeah,
think
these
that
guys,
your
this
president,
this
vice
government,
president,
they are not very
don't
feeling.
they
You want to
deserve
They're
buy
not
two
feeling.
presidential
more,
new jets?
two more planes
Don't they deserve
after
new
buying a
ones?
yacht.
This
Eh?
They
government,
deserve a new private jet.
After buying yacht,
Really?
you bought
Yeah,
new
you
yacht,
want
you
to buy
won't buy new jets.
two
Does
new
it make
private
sense,
jets.
forefathers? You bought new
It's a
yacht,
shame.
hold
you
on
won't
now.
buy new jets.
Let me just play this again because for me, when I looked at it, I just felt, oh, this is wrong. This is just wrong behavior. It's not the kind of stuff you expect your president to be doing at this stage. Let me just play. It's just about 10 seconds.
A notice from me if I've changed my mind on minimum wage.
Me, when I look
Forefather,
at that,
They're making
forefather,
for us.
forefather.
that's the kind of stuff that brings nations down.
See,
They're
forefather.
laughing at
If
people.
you are labor group, listen to this. How would you feel?
It's not the labor group, the people.
So
I'm not labor group, and I feel furious that why are
so
you
that's
laughing
not
about
the
this?
point. No, the point I'm making here, these are the people that they sit together to negotiate. This, and if you watch that dinner, what you will feel is that these people see us as conquered people. So they come there, they throw cons to us, they go home and laugh at us and make jokes. So this is where he told
They are
them that
not Democrats. They are not Democrats.
he was doubling. He was doubling.
What they are doing is endangering democracy. They are not Democrats. They can't be what they are doing because they are just laughing at people. The people, the demo in people.
Yeah.
People they say they
are laughing at them.
The joke.
People you are
The
negotiating
joke.
with, laughing at
So
them.
you were against labor before. Thank God you
It's a
saw
joke.
this.
One
Thank
minute.
I
God
have
you got to
my own
see.
issues with labor.
Yeah,
You know, I still have my own issues with labor. It doesn't mean that they are not doing
Forefather,
something
I have
wrong.
a question for you. I have a question for you, forefather. What is new that they've done? When he came, his first, I want you to answer this because please let me know. What is the difference between what they just did now with what Akpabio did in the floor of the Senate about the poor Britain and what Tinubu did in the
Yeah.
first inaugural meetings that he had when he talked about let the poor breathe, when that statement was made? Is there any of them that seem to be different from what you see today?
Oh,
No,
no,
not really. This one, they are laughing at people. They are laughing.
This
And
one,
the time was different.
Even at
no,
that,
it's different.
even
That's a lot of things
on
are
those
different.
on those other two occasions, they were
A lot
laughing at the
of
people.
things are different. A lot of things
They
are
were
different.
laughing at the people.
Yeah,
But
no,
Akpabio did it like a joke.
KJ,
I
no,
said let the poor
this
breathe.
one is at
And all of
another
them
level.
no.
At
Okay, you're
another level.
understanding but the body language only. The contention this guy
Yeah.
putting in after a week of lockdown, it's like telling somebody, look at them, they're going to they say you should increase to 50 they're stupid. He's just start laughing. That's what he just did.
Yeah. Exactly what they're doing.
They're
Exactly what
stupid.
they
That's
did.
what
The
he
men,
just to the
the
labor.
woman, the
Yeah.
man, Akpabio, they're all laughing. See, it's supposed to be a funny
So
thing.
sad.
if
So
you
sad.
have forefather, if you have the Senate president talking on let the poor breathe, if you have that video, play it. He laughed when he said that.
No, it's a
So
different
what is different?
contention. It's
They've
different
already taken you for
scenarios,
a ride.
different
Yes.
thing
What's the
than
difference?
on this one. No. You know that what is bad, but it's on different different level.
The leftists are just like, they are going for protest. They say you should increase something that stupid people. They just start laughing. That's the interpretation of what has just happened.
Good afternoon, guys. Please, can I come in, please?
Professor John.
You're so gentle today. Just come in.
Don't knock. You know something, knock.
My brother, I don't do since I did watch. So if you can borrow me a little bit time, I can come in different ways. So one of the ways I want to come in, I'll use the state of Texas. The state of
we
Texas.
don't have a lot of time. We plan.
Yes. Please. I will just try to put all of them together very fast. The state of Texas, if I want to use Texas in terms of United States, Texas should be one of the third richest states in America. The minimum wage that Texas pay is 7.25 cents. That is federal government minimum wage. Almost 30 states or thereabout. Minimum wage is even more than the state of Texas. What is the strategy to that? But guess what? When Texas discovered that it started affecting Texas moved from $7.25 to $12. No union, no nothing. Do you understand? They move from $7.25 to $12. There is no union, there is no protest. But what Texas understand, businesses, people started leaving Texas for other states. You understand? Texas understand it. Nigeria today that we're talking about, Nigeria is grossly underpaid. I just came back from Nigeria. Today will make it 2 weeks ago that I came back from Nigeria. 1 week ago, I mean to say, Nigeria is grossly underpaid. If not for Yahoo boy and corruption put together, my brother, the things that they sell in the so-called eatery and every other place, no Nigeria that live on salary can afford to go spend. And you forget that what grow strong economy like the West today is purchasing power, where we get salary every week. We want to go buy new shoes. We want to go buy clothes. We want to press our phone like we are talking to a girl. We order this, we order that. It is very, very good for an economy. If you don't steal in Nigeria today, if you want to live based on salary, you can't really do that. The percentage of people that can do that is so minute. People are grossly underpaid, and the government is doing what they are doing. That makes me laugh. Then another way around, there is a caveat why Tinubu is doing what Tinubu is doing. I was once a union person in Nigeria, so I understand what Tinubu is doing to the union. First of all, they already hang the union in their head that this union today, they are labor, they are this and that. So they use that one to push them one side of it. Then the most important part, that the union themselves have failed the people. The union never represents the people. The union represents themselves more to fight the government. They use the government to cut deals for themselves. What do I mean by that? Union due that they take from your salary, my salary in Nigeria, is the 2% of your salary. Have you ever seen how much revenue union also make? How did they spend the money? Have you seen any union that is also driving the so-called Nord or innocent motor? These guys are also living large. These guys are not living in Ajegule. They're also living like politicians. We carry the highest delegate to ILO, International Labour, this thing in Geneva, Switzerland. You understand? They live like politicians. You understand? And they hope to be politicians. You understand? Go look at these old guys that led the union from Oshomole to the former trade union president Celestine and the likes. You go look every one of them. They end up become this thing. Is it Irabo contest for Senate? That's the former maritime. When you pick every one of them, immediately they leave union, they go into politics. They live the same lifestyle. And Tinubu, being a very bad person, also understand these people that if now you are saying my own, but I can equally say your own. What do you do with the union due? What kind of lifestyle do you live? Do you represent your people? So if the government has failed us, what about private sector? How are the union be able to curb private sector very well? That people in government will say, no, I don't want to do government work. Let me move to private sector. How many of us here that lives in the West really love government job? Good percentage of us, if I want to say from the place of US, some of us jump into government work, first of all, to quickly get citizenship. Some of us jump into government work for retirement purpose, say, I will get that good health insurance. Retirement purpose and maybe fasting up your immigration purpose. We don't run to government job, you understand? But when you see people in government job in Nigeria, they are just docile. You understand? No accountability, no transparency, no nothing. So the union has failed the people. The government don't understand what they are doing. I use Texas to make my case. Texas is moving their minimum wage from $7.25 to $12. No union protest. And Tinubu don't understand that when people have loose cash, people will spend money anyhow. My brother, Nigeria is really, really, really expensive to live. I just came back from Nigeria. You might look like that because we lie to ourselves when we do this exchange rate. But truth be told, every food that I eat in Nigeria, I'm feeding 4 people. I'm feeding 4 people. People will beg me, family members, friends, the people that are serving you this food. You see these people, it look like they are working there. They can't afford to eat the meal that I'm eating there. They don't eat those food. Things are so bad. The man that is working in Mega Chicken or Sweet Sensation and the likes, go and ask them how much they earn in salary. These people earn 50,000, and I eat a meal with juice for almost 10,000 naira, which means the man who work in Sweet Sensation can't eat in Sweet Sensation. You understand? It is that bad. So Nigeria is not working. So for further, when you make mention of all these things, if Nigeria has all these resources that some of us would think of, oh, Nigeria is cheap in living and everything, I will use Portugal. Go and look your case study. When you see Americans retire, they move to Portugal. What did they factor? Fantastic health insurance. You understand? Infrastructure, the things you plan for senior citizens and the likes. If I go to Nigeria, I am going to Nigeria because I'm so stubborn, I'm so stuck that I just want to go to Nigeria. Possibility, I may lose everything that I love more. I'll probably lose my children. I'll probably not take good care of my health because I'm going back to Nigeria and everything. Because we don't even trust the doctors. The doctors is not transparent enough to tell you what is going on with your own health in Nigeria. You understand? They tell you in terms of speculation and go back and even gossip about your health. You understand? So when you look all those parts and everything, who want to really retire to Nigeria? You understand? Good percent. Some of us, e.g., I'll make that example, e.g., like my own wife, who have lived here for donkey years, that don't even know how to buy McDonald's. What do you think my wife will do? She'll definitely go back to Nigeria because she doesn't enjoy anything here other than just the money. So she enjoys everything about Nigeria. She will go to Nigeria because she never embraced anything here. Some of us are like that. Some of our grandparents moved from the east, moved from north to Lagos. They never enjoy anything in Lagos. They went back to their ancestral home. You understand? And everything. So people do that and the likes at the detriment of their health, all the things that they will lose and everything. They don't care. As far as they can get 3 square meals. So if I can go to Nigeria with my social security and I can earn over $1,000 in Nigeria, that will make me live better than a manager, because if I earn over $1,000 and I'm not working actively and everything, I am doing fine at the risk of my health, at the risk of all this basic infrastructure that I will miss out and that I'm used to for donkey years and the likes. I don't think it's worth it. You understand? So when people move to certain places, you see things there. I live in the West Coast in America. Good percentage of all my Mexican colleagues, they don't have dentist insurance. They don't have all those high insurance and everything because it's just 2 hours. They're in Mexico. Why are they going back to Mexico? The health sector is working in Mexico. Can we vouch for Nigeria like that we can go to Nigeria and we strongly believe that the health sector is working in Nigeria? The answer is no. What about our road? What about just basic things, mechanic, plumber, carpenter, just little things here and there? You understand? You can't even ask, how did they preserve the food that we eat? Can we really ask all these questions? So when you put all these little things here and there, Nigeria doesn't cut it. Nigeria cut it for that poor man who live there. You understand? So I may look much, much better than that person, but I'm missing a whole lot moving from here to Nigeria. But you know the beauty of it? Why are we here? We truly and really love that country called Nigeria. We want the country to be better, but not to lie that the country is looking good when the country is not anywhere close to better. I'll tell you another thing before I drop. During COVID time, the school bus that picked my kids from school, during COVID time, now the kids are staying at home. Guess what? The school bus just simply be driving from house to house and bring food for everybody. Well planned. They already know their students. The bus driver already know their route and everything. Do you see the way people humiliate themselves? Do you see the way they manage our so-called, what did they call that English that time? That food that they were sharing to Nigeria, that politician odd and everything. Well, you don't call these things poor father. Go ahead, my brother.
Just to add what you're saying, when they were distributing this food, we were begging even people around to take if they needed anything.
Oh, obviously. We started telling the school, we started telling the school bus not to come because we don't need the food.
Okay.
We don't need the food. You understand? So they come, they just press bell and they leave the food there. So we told them, please don't bring food for us. We don't need it. My family don't need it. My kids don't want it. Even when they were going to school initially, they don't really like it. But politicians ordered our own pandemic food in Nigeria. They ordered it. So let's not just put those things together. It's far apart.
Paul, while you were talking, you see what revealed to me, you know, earlier on I said something about us, Nigerian economy being like in a hole where the cost of things out there is different from the cost of things that is the way it manifests itself in Nigeria. And to get ourselves out of it is similar to the kind of trend you see with iPhone. You know, when the iPhone came out first time, people didn't do contract. You just buy it cheap, a bit cheaper than it is now. But if you imagine from that time to now, when an iPhone is costing $1,000 and the contract you pay $100 or more per month, you will think that is crazy if they did it the next day. But gradually they increase the quality of the services that they are offering and increase the price. That is how it should happen in Nigeria too, where quality of this service will increase and the price increase gradually. But the problem with Nigeria is that this is why I keep going back to the government. It's like they are there to sabotage us. They just sabotage the Nigerian economy. If Tabin Tinubu just came in, all the job he just did is go and stabilize the Nigerian environment, like secure the country.
Then, Father, I am sorry that I'm intruding into you before you call this thing. I want to ask, Father, I know you are the Chat GPT guy, you are the Google guy. Can you please check the last time they changed Air Force One, the aircraft that the US president used? Can you please check the last time that they changed the Beast that the president is driving, that car that the president drives? Go and check the last time that they changed that car, that we are changing aircraft. Father, do you know you can use one aircraft for as long as you can think? Because aircraft, you literally everything way out in aircraft. Everything in aircraft has expiring date. As this thing expire, you take it off. As this thing expire, you take it off. You might call the so-called fool put the components together that they built this aircraft 1994. But nearly every component in that aircraft may be that aircraft is as good as 2024. Because anything expired, you don't wait for these things to wear and tear. It expired, not that anything is wrong with it. As the aircraft touched down, you already have everything in system. You are taking this part out, you are putting the other part. You are taking this part out, you are putting the other part. So the concept of we just stand up, we say we want to buy aircraft when we have 10 aircraft on our presidential fleet. This is a slap on our face. They are using it to tell you that we don't care. Go do whatever you want to do.
It's not about you. It's about them.
The last change to the Air Force One was...
Father, see what you're saying. Imagine yourself. Imagine you have your family.
Don't start, my brother.
For the past 1 month, they've not taken away electricity. That there'll be constant light for the past 1 month. And they brought the bill and they are complaining to you, oh, instead of 60,000 we're paying, they charge us 100,000. What will you tell them?
I don't know. I don't know what the context is. Sorry.
No, I said they call you today for the last 1 month, they have not taken electricity away from the house. Now, the next day, they call you, oh, they brought bill. Instead of 60,000, I'm paying 100,000. What will you tell them?
I'll tell them that since you were not getting power before, you were paying 60,000, now that you get full power.
It's so cheap. It's so cheap to pay. Go and pay. I will tell them.
You tell them to go and pay. Okay.
Yeah. So provide the services first. Give them the services. Let them enjoy it. Do you know how many generators I have in the house?
I think this change gradually. It's not something that happens overnight. It changes gradually.
If the person is earning 60,000 a month, how will the person pay it?
He said,
if the person is earning only 60,000 a month, and they increase the electricity bill to 100,000, how will the person pay it?
No, so the problem is
that's why it's gradual.
50,000 watts. See the challenge. If the person is paying 60,000, this person has been using. There is nobody in Nigeria that is not using generator.
Yeah, thank you,
Emma. Who is stacking us that we're not seeing the face?
Of course, it's Amadioha now.
Yeah,
there is nobody in Nigeria that is using electricity that doesn't burn that doesn't burn fuel. So you are only telling the person the last 1 month you didn't buy fuel.
They are burning fuel now that the fuel is 1,000 watts, 1,800.
Of course, so that's what I'm telling you. So if this person
really as bad as it is, I don't really understand.
The government is the one getting in the way of the Nigerian economy improving. If they didn't change, like if they didn't flow the currency now, what you would have seen is things will start improving slowly. Keep disrupting it.
There's something I don't understand.
If you never finish you,
okay. I don't understand. Each time they say this president psychophants will say with the economic.
I said fuel is not 1,004. Fuel is just 720, 620.
So each time when they say with the economic
for righteous man, that is in Lagos.
Reforms that you brought that will suit the benefit very soon. Is it the
in Lagos?
He removed the fuel subsidy. And they say the fuel subsidy is back. So what is exactly those economic reforms?
Yes, that is the point. What is the economic
reform? The benefit very soon.
Isn't that what I'm saying? That they just sabotage people. They remove fuel subsidy and brought it back again.
And the subsidy is even more expensive now than before.
Exactly. That is the problem. They are the ones disrupting the Nigerian economy from functioning.
Father, can you please also Google where they do band A and band B in UK or in America? Because I know people who live in the interior mountain in America, water will reach them there. Light will reach them there. Are they in band A?
To be fair, in the UK, they don't even have what they call band A, but you pay the same price. It's even worse in the UK. Like broadband now. The people in central London, they get 4G and all the rest. 5G. But why people in the outskirts may get 4G?
Electric.
Well, electric is this. Electric. We don't have electric problem here now. You know that.
No, so where did this English come? Band A and band B. Is it that one who have low current or one who have? Where did this English even come?
I think it's a temporary measure. It's a temporary measure to.
Is that based on your those that are there are some interventions that subsidizes the electricity of some very few folks that doesn't have certain level of income.
That is it.
Based on states, some state governments will say, okay, they have that arrangement with ComEd. If it's a place where ComEd provides electricity. So if you fall, there's a government program. If your income fall within those places, you fill the applications and you'll be considered. So there's an incentive each month.
But not band A that they are telling you that we can promise you 12 hours light. We will promise the other one 20 hours light.
Because
gentlemen,
and the rich live in the same
I think this discussion is ripe now, so we can take it backstage because it begins to come to where we can discuss, argue about it, and all the rest. So let's take this backstage. If not now, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you right from the beginning. You have been here. Kene is here. He's there. He's acting as if he's not there. The moment you mentioned,
I'm here.
Yeah, I know now.
The way you mentioned Southeast, this city, this camera will come on very quickly. Very quickly. KJ, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. I like your commentary and all. KJ, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Augustine, as always, thank you for joining us. Refreshing to see you. You came in a bit late today, but it's all good. Paul, thank you for joining us. Amadioha and Paul and Righteous Man. Righteous Man has been here from the beginning. So I have to salute you for taking time to join us and all the good work you are doing for Nigerians. And he's in Nigeria.
If everybody complain Nigeria, no Righteous Man. Righteous Man.
Oh my goodness! Hold on. I need to close out. I need to close out. We can carry on the backstage. And
leave Righteous Man alone.
Can you people let me close out? Let me close out, please. Ngozi Eze.
BQB.
You try him, you're wrong. Let's go backstage.
Ngozi Eze, I see you there. Ngozi Eze, Hoji, I see you. I'm sending the link. Can do. I can see you there. Thank you for joining us. Boom Boom Ray, I see you there. That's I speak the truth. I see you all there. Udo, Olisa, Franklin, I see you there. Ken Riba, as always, thank you for joining us today, Ken Riba. Efosa Akembo, thank you for joining us, Efosa Akembo. Crushon you, thank you for joining us, Crushon you. And let's see who else is there. Fumi thank you for joining us, Fumi Fumi, I took my correction when I made a mistake, so I'm not dogmatic like that. People think I'm often dogmatic. Fumi thank you for joining us. And for the correction, by the way, Thames Waters is not the only water company in the UK, but it's the only water company in the London and Greater London area. That's a monopoly. What's that? Let me go back further. Ruwan, I see you there, Ruwan, and Tracy Jacobin, I see you there. Thank you all for joining us. And let me go and mention the people that actually donated to us. I didn't get a lot of chance to, ask Nigerians to donate. I should be able to do that. But while we are here, if you want to, chip in, Dr. Damages needs all the money to pay the staff, if you want the quality to improve and, more and more people to come and join, we have a Alaba coming on tomorrow now. These are the kind of stuff we used to fund the channel. Open conversation, quality conversation is what you get. It's not easy. Dr. Damages is spending a lot of his money doing all these things. I really appreciate you people that have donated to us. Like Mazi Prince, Mazi, thank you for the donation, $20, Mazi Prince, and Alexander Gomez, as always. Thank you for the donation, $10, 10 solid dollars. Kulata, one of the most derided commenters on the channel, yet he still donates and contributes to the channel. $2, Kulata. Thank you for the donation, Kulata. Young One, $5. Young One, thank you for the donation. I've not seen you before. I don't know whether you come front stage. Thank you for the donation, $5 from Young One. And let me get the next one. A for real. I've always AY. Thank you for the donation. We enjoyed your conversation, your donation today. And you're probably watching us backstage. AY, thank you for the $2 donation. Jaja, another $2 donation, Canadian dollar. All the dollars are welcome. Some are stronger, others are less. And this is Canadian dollar. Oscar Blackbone, thank you for the $2 donation, the solid $2 donation. All dollars are equal, I guess, from that point of view. Mazi Prince, another $10. Mazi Prince, I know actually the first one was $20 and he gave us $10. He really puts his money out there, supporting Dr. Damage all the time, even if he was talking to me. Kulata, another $2. Kulata, you have to break this $2, break this spell. No, Kulata did break the spell of $2 the other day. He did donate $10 or $20 also. Thank you for the donation, Kulata. Alexander Gomez, another $2 from Alexander Gomez again. Alexander Gomez, we appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Make no mistake. Kulata, another $5. Thank you for the donation. Young One, another $5. And finally, Alexander Gomez, another $5. Thank you all for joining us. Who is shaking the whole thing there? What is going on? Take it easy. I'm sorry you are coughing though, but try to regulate your mic a bit. Thank you for the donation, Oga Alexander Gomez, and join us tomorrow. And there will be a Sunday session. We'll have a more relaxed session, and we discuss things in a more relaxed way. And hopefully, we'll all have something to learn from it tomorrow. And till then, we'll catch you tomorrow. Let me see what I will find to play, given we have had a lot of arguments about regions and